Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Call of Duty Challenges Elite. Today is the grand finals. We start off in the European region with 4 teams remaining, all fighting it out to win this stage. My name is Bryce. I'll be bringing you the action from the 3 games we have coming up. But joining me this time, my colleagues Tan and Ellen. Ellen, how are you?
Fantastic. And then when I say fantastic, I really mean fantastic, Brycey. Like, come on. I woke up early, first time in a while. Most gamers go to sleep at 6 a.m. I'm waking up at 6 a.m. and I'm working out. So a little bit of self-care this morning. I'm feeling really good. And I'm excited to see the conclusion today. Honestly, it's just been such a crazy ride.
It certainly has. Well, good to hear you're on a good schedule. I think I got to bed about 5 a.m., so not the best for me, but because we're covering all the games. And I suppose that moves me over to Chris Tan. Tan, how are you doing?
Yeah, no, my pattern's in the bin, mate. Let's not get it twisted. It's done and dusted, but I'm very excited nonetheless. Yes, I wasn't quite up at 9 a.m., but excited for today with 4 very, very good teams in Europe. It could go multiple different directions. Very excited to see which way it does go.
It certainly could go different directions, but here is our playoff bracket. The 4 teams we will be looking at today. Elevate will face Amelia Strays and August will take Mavericks on as well. The winner of those 2 will go to our grand final, and we will be seeing every single team and game today as we get this one concluded. Okay, Ellen, who are you liking the look of for this bracket?
Oh my goodness. This is so hard. All of these teams are just so stacked. Like, I look at Elevate and I think, okay, they kind of slowed down a little bit since their success taking the second open. It seems like they're consistently replacing first and second. Slow down a little bit, but still making it here. That's a good feat. I'm really going to be looking for Hixie and Denza. Just put in work, and that dynamic duo is just so OP. But then now Orglis making that 1 roster change. Like, they have been killing it right now. So I don't know. Originally, Team Orglis, I mean, they've been around the whole entire squad since day 1, but they made that 1 roster change that's just been making the biggest difference for them. So I'm really, really excited to see how well they perform against these teams right here, just with the pressure being on. Sometimes, you know, on these days, teams do tend to experience that type of pressure and they might play differently. Not all the time, of course, but usually when your backs are essentially against the wall, it's like you really tend to just turn up. And I'm just expecting to see some amazing top tier gameplay, even more so from what we saw yesterday.
No, I fully agree with it. These are the big boys. They are ready and willing to try and win this thing. Tan, I suppose we should start talking about our first game then, of course. Amelia Strays versus Elevate. This is how it is going to go down. Apocalypse Hardpoint, Moscow Search and Destroy, Raid Control, and Raid Hardpoint, and finishing potentially on Search and Destroy Standoff. Tan, what do you think?
Lovely way to close the best out of 5 if we do get into that 5th map. First and foremost, immediately what comes to mind is Amelia Strays struggling against Mavericks on Apocalypse Hardpoint yesterday. It's going to be tenfold against Elevate, who have looked solid throughout the majority, maybe a little bit of a tail off towards the end. That's going to be an interesting map. They need to make sure they come out hot on this one because it will not be easy against Elevate. The rest of it, though, are fairly standard, has to be said. Control could go either way, although we typically have always seen Elevate as a very strong control team. I like the map pool, though. It speaks aggression, and we love to see that.
It certainly does. And of course, these 2 teams have played before, not just in this season, but previous seasons. Of course, there have been some changes. The most notable, of course, Amelia Strays, our champions from Stage 3, have come into this one probably not as hot or dominant, Ellen. Do you think they have what it takes now to take on Elevate?
That's true. Amelia Strays, they did take last season and they haven't come out as hot, but how many times have Elevate been here? I mean, compared to like the grand finals, I mean, just even this day, I don't know. I feel like Elevate, even though they did have maybe a little bit of a rocky like finish here towards the end, I just still feel like they're such a strong team. So compared to Amelia Strays, I mean, it's just, of course, one of those things that's hard to tell, but if you want to look at experience and longevity, I'm gonna say Elevate on this one. But of course, anything can happen.
You are completely correct. Anything could happen as these 2 teams go towards it on our championship day. But we are going to get this one started. Here we go. On to Apocalypse Hardpoint to kick off this best of 5. This is the game. Elevate versus Amelia Strays, and our casters for this one, of course, will be Tan and Ellen.
Thank you very much, Brycey. And well, here we are into the EU finals. It's a very, very warm day in the UK. No air conditioning here for the most of us, at least anyway. And I know I'm sweating, so I wonder what these guys will be doing, sitting in their bedroom playing for all this money that is on the line. Make for some interesting viewing. And I'm really curious to see how this one does kick off. You know, Elevate, as we mentioned, looked really strong towards the beginning of the season. And at the beginning of the season, they beat Amelia Strays 3-0. That was on Hardpoint on Checkmate, S&D Miami, and then, not S&D Miami, S&D Moscow, and then Control Checkmate. So, of course, Control Checkmate no longer a part of it. But to say that, it was a 3-0. They will be feeling confident going in this one, no matter what the maps are. With, well, Wardy momentarily the only one getting kills on the board for Amelia Strays. And have a look at the spawns here, Ellen. They are set up very, very nicely on Amelia Strays and in a good spot to hold things down towards P2.
That's absolutely correct. I mean, Wardy having the game of his life. I mean, clearly he's sweating. 7-1 now on a 5 streak. So the question is how is Elevate going to break this? Because with Wardy being so aggressively pushing up towards the middle here, I mean, well, there you go. Bids actually managed to take him out. That's potentially caught timing right there. But now Elevate, they're going to have to push towards this back cemetery area, the temple area, excuse me. And I think Amelia Strays knows that, but the flood is going to come on through, and Amelia Strays overall is still holding control as Watson gets a 2-piece, and Weeman, although able to take up that kill, he's still alive there at the point, but still, it's just Amelia Strays who continue to dominate. And again, there's 35 seconds left on this point, so if Elevate do not manage to break here, they're going to have to start thinking about that rotation and possibly just chalk it up. But now, as it stands, Amelia Strays just absolutely dominating right now.
Yep, looking good for them so far. I said, I mean, they really didn't have a good time of things on this map specifically. Up against Mavericks yesterday. Going into this, though, after the first 2 hills, it's going to be a solid 60 or 70 point lead as we head over towards P3. But to be fair, you know, you have to put the situation into context that, of course, Amelia Strays spawned on the better side. They held it well and have held the point. Still had work to do, but we're put in a good position to do so, of course, with the spawn side. Jackster on a 5 spree is going to help them out in this transition over towards P3, though. He could potentially be the dagger here if he can find the kill on the Denza. Not going to happen. Hixie as well, finding kills. Bids another one in the mid-map, and there's a second. Watson gets taken down. The first flurry of kills coming through here for Elevate. Should be a good chunk of time.
That's right, Elevate looking to hold on controls. I'm looking to see definitely the sub-aggression from Hixie coming in, but now as he takes down Pirio, he might get that second on the warning. Can he get the third? No, Chaxter takes him out, but Weeman gets the trade. So again, Elevate still in a good position, as we said, but they have to worry about that rotation. And as you see, take a look at number 6 on your minimap. Bids is already over there. So as Amelia Strays fights through that, Denza trying to hold on, but it's really hard when you have 4 players pushing. They're going to look to the rotate towards the back, but now Elevate have to worry about this, and now they are spawning out. This might be a little bit challenging as Amelia Strays look to break through.
It's really the first kill that came through that from the side of Chaxter. His teammate's not in a position to help out, though, and well held towards the back yet. If you are Weeman, can Watson be taken down by Bids? Yes, he can. Good stuff from the Elevate team to keep a hold of these back spawns. You know how important they can be, the transition to 4 and 5. Very, very seamless when it does come towards these back spawns. Wardy gets taken down as well, and the kill feeds just started lighting up red that little bit more now. Elevate starting to ease their way into this game. Picking up 20 points potentially here on the scrap. We can see that Amelia Strays are going to fight for this by the looks of things. Hixie trying to hold the front. Denza finds 2 himself as well. Can he find a third? That's massive from Denza. And look at the spawn up from Amelia Strays. That final 10 seconds will go over towards Elevate. And they're on the prime position set up here for this P5 rotation. Weeman and Denza combining well, holding it down on this outer side of the map. And they're in a really good spot to stretch their legs in this game.
Most definitely. Denza and Hixie just heating up, and now Amelia Strays are going to try to push, but Denza, he takes down Wardy. Can he get the second? No, but Hixie's there for the trade. So again, that's a full wipe for Amelia Strays, and Elevate still holding control and have the lead change here. So looking good so far. I think this may be a little bit of a slow start, but like you said, Amelia Strays did have that advantage of having the point, but now the push comes again, and Denza takes down Pirio, and still they keep flooding in one by one, but finally the trade comes through as Wardy does pick up Hixie, but Weeman trades out again. So Spawns once again is in control for Elevate, but 16 seconds left remain, and although they do hold every last second, you still have Amelia Strays. We have Watson and Shaxter on the rotation already set up, but I think in this situation here, Ixie can just essentially just pull right on through, but no. Walks in. It's caught timing right there. Maybe pull on through, but overall, first reset, and now this time around, it's Elevate that has it.
And it has to be said, Amelia Strays, after 2 hills, they had about a 70-point lead. They've only managed to accumulate the next 3 hills about 15 to 20 points. That's where Elevate have really looked fantastic after that. So it's not been great for Amelia Strays outside of the first 2 hills, and now all of a sudden Piero is left on his own. Needs to try and go massive for his team here. Can he find any of these kills that are coming on through? Gonna find one on the Wee Man. Can he find a second on the transition to Hixie to ring around the Rosie? Going for a little chase. They can't find each other, but you know what? He's done so well to survive. Hixie will find the kill towards the back, though. Now he's on his own. The rest of Elevate looking to try and push on through here. And the Strays pick up a good 30-40 points on this middle hill. They've lost control of P2, though. Massive for Elevate. It's a good chance now to get another good chunk of time and restore that lead, which was quite significant at one point here, Alan.
That's right. But that was a huge kill for Wardy there, as he's going to flood through that temple side, but Pinch comes through. That's 2 down now. 3 down now for Elevate. Hixie, though, last alive, looking to fight for his life. Still challenging, but Amelia Strays just flooding onto the point. Managed to get the control. So now Elevate, they have to push to the front. That's a good kill. That's 2 down. Good. So now, again, the trades still come through, but overall, it's still just this bloodbath, and 30 seconds still remain. They just have to rotate, but man, I mean, you got shots from Imperial coming like that. I think at that point, you just chalk it up, but look at the spawn. They're still kind of spawning in an interesting spot, so I'm just curious to see if they're going to push right here. Looks like they kind of do, but I think Elevate is going to play for the hold. So Amelia Strays able to chalk up that Temple Hill, 10 seconds left. Now it's Elevate this time around, once again, who have control, and I don't know, Ton, looking at this hard point, it just really seems like it's very slow, very controlled. It's much different from watching the NA matches for me.
Yeah, it can be a case of just getting these hills locked in, and that has been the case. Whoever's won the rotation really has won the majority of the points, which should be the case. You know, you should be rewarded for rotating early, but you have to make sure you are able to hold as well. Elevate's lead was much more significant than this, but Wee Man's going to help cut that down. Lights 2 can't fight the shots onto Wardy, by the way. That's a 7 for you from there. And Wardy finds those shots with. That's ridiculous. Finds another one in the middle as well. Piero's there to find the second. Bids falls. Den's on the flank, though. What can he do here? Finds one, but can't. Actually does find the second. Through the body of Piero there. Unfortunate time for Amelia Strays. It's just been flooding into the hill consistently. We're thinking about the transition over towards P4 now. Shaxter trying to lock this one in, taking his time, helping out with the shots on to Hixie. Staying alive as best he can here, momentarily surrounded, but the rest of Elevate need to be here to help as well. Watson will fall. It looks like an Elevate win as far as the rotation goes.
Yeah, and then we have that one player from Amelia Strays, Watson, who did spawn out, so this could be a split push, but Den's on bids with the 2-piece there on the Wardy, so they only have one player in the back to worry about, as they do have to take out this kill on Curio, and there, done. Now the flood comes in through the front. Amelia Strays looking to fight for it, but Wee Man, a couple shots in there as he's holding it down from the front. Watson gets taken out, and AR from Wee Man looking pretty strong right now. Beautiful shots, is kind of locking down this point. So 27 seconds left on this point, and Wee Man's on that, but now the rotation's coming in. Yep, they left it. They're chalking it, but again, looks like Wardy kind of slipped by. He actually might be able to get a player, but Hixie knows exactly where he is. Might gonna have to have a couple of people help out there, but Hixie done. Able to get that trade, and now once again, it's just, this is tough. This is a tough situation. There's only 10 seconds left, and now Amelia Strays have to flood in through from the front yet again, Ton.
It's the transition from 3 to 4 that looks really, really good for Elevate. Wee Man on a 6 spree. The streaks are going to get called in here as well, potentially. You may not need them, to be honest with you, as Elevate lock it in once again, and it's just a case of out-rotating Amelia Strays time and time again. And when they do, and they get their heels dug in, they are very hard to get out. Fantastic play from Elevate. And that's to be said, look, Amelia Strays did well when it comes down to P2, but the rest of the hills was really, really strongly favoring Elevate. They just seem to have that rotation locked down every single time, winning these big gunfights. on the way around to each of the hills and locking them down when they got there. Fantastic stuff from Elevate, and has to be said, they are one of the favorites. Obviously, they come through in the top 2 with Oglis. It makes things a little bit easier. It makes, you don't have to play these games yesterday. You can watch Amelia Strays and how they play, how they're playing currently, and you can take that into today's games. But let's have a breakdown of how things went, and just keep an eye on what the score was for Amelia Strays after the first 2 hills here. They looked so good. They were so confident and with a really solid lead, but after that, they didn't really get too much until the second rotation.
Yeah, I feel like like you said, it was that situation where Elevate did have that early rotation, and when they lost rotations, it just seemed like they were constantly fighting through the front, or they just couldn't seem to get it together to find a way to break. And it just, at the end, it's tough. It's tough when you never have spawns, and that's just the core of Hardpoint. It's just locking those spawns in and spawning closest to the hill. So if you're constantly spawning far away and pushing, obviously through the front, if you can't hold, it's everything, and it's tough. It's definitely tough. But with a team like Elevate, I mean, you expect them to know what to do in those situations, even with being down with such a huge deficit. Calm and collected, still just knew what they needed to do to come back and bring it in the win.
Yeah, it was really difficult for them because, to be honest with you, I think you have to give massive props to Elevate and how they played that one. That was really well played. For Amelia Strays, you're always kind of fighting from the back foot. We never really seen an early rotation outside of the P2 one. But then you've got to give the props to Elevate to just locking those lanes down. They looked so good at doing so, especially when it came towards what was a P4. They looked fantastic there. Wee Man behind the statue, just very difficult to get rid of, and all of a sudden it's a 1-0 lead for Elevate. So we can see we are actually loading into the second map in just a moment as well. Search and Destroy Moscow is going to be what's coming up next in a second. And this was the game that these two did play last time in Search and Destroy in map number 2. And it was a 6-2 win for Elevate on that one. So it's coming in again. And okay, you look, last night we were questioning whether or not it was the right decision to see some of the series carry over in the same way after some of the teams had already played each other previously in the day, and we're seeing the same map pools. Yes, okay, this one you'd question it, but Amelia Strays and Elevate have not played for quite some time. This was the very first day of Season 4, was the last time we've seen these two square up. So could things have changed for Amelia Strays in that time, Ellen? That's the question. Moscow S&D coming up.
Yeah.
They're going to have to do a lot better than they did last time.
Well, I was going to say, that is true. So essentially, Elevate did take Moscow on this. And what's scary is if Elevate does take this, I mean, we already know that they're an amazing control team. But the advantage, I guess, that Amelia Strays has is the fact that they did have the advantage of playing Elevate here on that. And, they had some opportunity to go back and watch some VODs. So we might see a different turnaround if they did that, and potentially, from what we didn't see practice Moscow, we might see a different turnaround this time, just because they have that previous footage.
Yeah, I mean, look, they must feel confident enough to be playing it, to be fair. They wouldn't let it slip through if it was too much of an issue, you would think. So moving over towards Moscow, you would like to think that Amelia Strays will feel good on this one. I'm interested, though, because yesterday, Amelia Strays, it was their ARs that made them look so good against the Mavericks for the most part, and their bold S&D calls, specifically in that round 11. You could argue that Mavericks did choke that in a certain sense. It was a 4v2, you've got streaks, you're in a good spot. Amelia Strays clutched up in the most unlikely of situations. Can they do that here against Elevate when it comes down to Moscow? 1-0 already towards Elevate, and they will need to continue that good form, though, Amelia Strays. For all that they did win last season, not quite the same beast, but not a pushover in any respect. But shout out to the observers today, and has been all over the challenger side of things. Shane, of course, and John Prosper. Fantastic stuff from those guys. We love to see it, our observers. I remember when we had to do it ourselves, Elvin, so shout out to these guys. It wasn't ezy to commentate and do it at the same time, but these guys do a fantastic job at it. A better job than we ever did.
Well, now we already have the fast A push, but then you have Dens on the flank, so that's already 3 down for Amelia Strays, and Elevate already coming in with the heat as well done. That was quite
I was too
fast.
busy talking about our fantastic observers. Elevate wrapped all the way through middle.
Yep.
And that's the round. Okay.
That's the round. Amelia Strays had the plant off too, but quick wrap, quick flank, and I'm not sure exactly how Denza was able to, I guess they left the flank open.
I mean, it wasn't just him. I think there was 3 or 4 members of Elevate. Immediate flank around,
Someone was behind, but I mean, no one was even looking at it.
True.
That is just interesting, but okay. Well,
Questionable.
starting off with the Heat.
Well, here we go for Elevate. Their return to attack. It's probably one of the quickest rounds of Moscow Search and Destroy we have seen. Series starting to heat up a little bit here. It's very much heating up in my room as well. My goodness me.
Same.
Not having aircon in this country is a very much a curse. Unless you're Brycey, who bought his own. Unless Watson. Taking down Wee Man. Good opening pick here for Elevate now. All for the side of Amelia Strays, I should say. Sorry, the team names are wrong on our side of things. I think they should be... No, they're correct. What am I on about? Oh my god. I'm losing my head. Look, my head is boiled. My head is boiled.
It's getting to your brain. Yeah.
I think so.
Well, the bomb is going towards B, and we still have 2 members of Amelia Strays here. So Wardy picks out Nixie, gets a second on Denza. Beautiful 2-piece for them, evening, well, more than evening up the odds. Now Bids is in a 1v4.
That's number 1. Yeah. Difficulty has here, though, is where the bomb is. Even if he finds the second gunfight, I mean, he's got so much work to do in 13 seconds. This is kind of just a damage limitation operation from Bids. My god, he hit that shot. That was insane. Nonetheless, 1 apiece. Amelia Strays do tie things up. Crucial for Morty, this. He falls. It's only a 3 versus 3. Bomb probably would be going down as well. Really good repositioning. And he's been fantastic for this team ever since he did come in to replace Nuke J. And questions were asked, would he be able to keep up with what Nuke Jade kind of brought to the table for this Amelia Strays roster, considering they won Season 3. Season 4, he is absolutely not disappointed for his team. Heading into round number 3, though, can they continue this comeback? Elevate found the first round, Amelia Strays the second.
Well, there's Perio down. I was saying this time around, Amelia Strays actually had that, but it looks like they're going to actually push through maybe the spawn, or they're going to wait. So, anticipation, Wee Man, couple shots into Wardy, but they know exactly where he is. So, are they going to back down? No, they're still going for the plant, but the push is coming through. Wardy takes down Pixie. Now, trying to get the second. He does with the pistol. He tries to get the third, but Bids shuts him out. And now, Chaxter with a clean 2-piece on the flank. Perfect round from Amelia Strays. Now they take it 2-1. That was kind of fast.
Super quick. Both teams getting very, very aggressive.
Right. Yeah.
Which we love to see. Need to see Amelia Strays take this map, though. I said we always feel confident on the side of Elevate in their control game. Amelia Strays find themselves up here, though. Wardy 5-2. Good start for him. It's not necessarily working out for Elevate so far. A bit of an obscure round number 1 that did catch Amelia Strays off guard, so let's see if they maybe could try and throw another potential curveball here, Alan.
Yeah, I think this time around too, Amelia Strays looks a little bit aggressive on that street side as you see Wardy kind of slowly running forward, and there's 2 members on it. He might actually catch him in the back. He caught Wee Man. Can he get the second? Oh, Jensen took him out. But that's still nice, beautiful opening pick at least, but Elevate able to even the odds now in a 3 versus 3, but the bomb is still in jewelry.
Rotation round here for Elevate, looking for a pick, but Piero finds that himself. Still a 2v3. This is doable, especially if they can get rid of this kill on the Chaxter, and they do so. Can't really plant the bomb. There's a lot of different angles to watch. If they can get themselves in a 2v1 just like that, then maybe it becomes a little bit more attainable. Now up to Piero. Let's see what he can do here. Not a lot of time on Elevate's side here. They need to think about planting this. Piero will have a good idea as to where the Elevate boys are. Is he going to catch them in transition? He is, but he won't find the shots, and Elevate tied up 2-2.
That was going to be close. I was saying if Pirio was able to at least get one of those kills and then maybe duck away and just play the time, they could have had it there. It was very, very close. But, I mean, look at Bid's Batman right here jumping at Watson like the absolute monster. That was a huge kill. But kind of interesting plays from both teams, though. Just curious to see how this one plays out. pretty much every round from Amelia Strays, we've seen them go A. So I'm curious to see if they go B this time. But of course, that being said, they do head to A. And now Elevate kind of stacked throughout the whole entire map, just posted power positions. But Amelia Strays looking to work this bomb towards that mid. I think they decided, Checkster, nope, let's just swing it back over to A. We don't really see anybody. Not really sure exactly where the team members of Elevate are, but Checkster working, gets this plant down. Should be good to lock it in here.
It's a hard break here for Elevate, but they can take their time. One pick would suddenly open things up just that little bit more. Grenade's going to go out. Did he get a tag on the Checkster, who does have to back on down? Utility being wasted a little bit here from Elevate. They could have used it to help them break through. Surely this is just too difficult of a gunfight to try and win now. Watson will find one to Hixie. Checkster finds the other as well. Which of these trades going to go? Amelia Strays very quickly find 4. 3-2 now. And this is just such a hard retake, isn't it? 4 of them set up on the site. Watson just dipping and diving. Well played though. To the side of Amelia Strays, just stack the bomb site, make it look easy.
Yep. Yeah, that seems to be their MO. It's kind of interesting. Amelia Strays has been pretty much doing that at B, but Elevate was, or excuse me, A, but Elevate was attempting to go to B. But so now this time, I was just curious to see if maybe they might work that A site. But once again, it kind of looks like the same here. This time around is it's going to jump peek, try to see maybe if he could get that first opening pick. 3 members of Amelia Strays are stacked up over here, and there's only 1 person at the B bomb site, so I'm just curious to see, playing for information, maybe his bids saw a couple members, if he's telling his team, go rotate over to B, and the bomb is working towards that street side, but they have 1 member to worry about, Watson. He's laying down, and Amelia Strays picking up on the rotation as they have 2 other members rotating back and leaving Checkster over at that A bomb site. The bloodbath is going to go down now.
Oh, he sees him around the corner. How has he seen him? No, Weeman finds a second as well, and now a 4v2. He goes for the re-challenge, not going to happen. Now a 1 versus 4. Checkster in an impossible situation. He will fall. Elevate will win the round. And that's tough, right? Because Watson's playing a good angle there. I don't hate it at all. Does he just see him? Oh, yeah, I see his leg. Oh, that's tough. And then Piero gets gunned from here as well. No, not necessarily gunned, just positions the angle that little bit better.
Plus, he had his teammate behind him.
Yeah, it always helps.
They both for sure.
3-3 though. I mean, tight touch and destroy. Really tight.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like you said, Amelia Strays, they were definitely set up in the position, and very good catch on that rotating back and everybody read early, but that just sometimes the leg. Kind of similar fashion of what Elevate just did. Now Amelia Strays is looking to do, but in this situation, Elevate, all 3 members are stacked up at A, and then you have Denza who's watching mid. So potentially B might be open to work here. But Elevate already rotating.
Yeah. Well, they're going to get there in time though. I think Denza just playing for information here, and well, it's going to be coming in a second. You can hear the utility coming through. They have to be careful they don't get flanked from behind. Shots into Denza. Warn him off. The grenade there as well, but Weeman the bait. And then the switch from him. 3v3 though, as he does get traded out with Watson down the street. Look at this hit into the actual site now. Bids making his way in. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath inside of green. There's 1, there's 2, looking for number 3, and there it is. Elevate so clean. Breaking through into B. That's a defuse, that's a round win, that's a lead for Elevate here in the search and destroy.
That was so clean. That was so clean. And when I just saw that a ton, I'm not gonna lie, I thought of their hard point game. You know why? Because it just takes so much teamwork and communication and the chemistry. And Elevate, like I said, they've been a team for a while. They've been a team, and they know exactly what it takes, but they also feel that that chemistry is everything. It really is. It's so nice when you see it. It's so nice. I love it. But can they keep it up? It looks like this time now, Elevate's going to do a 4-man hit to A, so they only have 2 members of Amelia Strays to worry about. Now tucked in the corner.
Them here as well, yeah. Trackster, if he can find anything here, that would be massive. Finds one, the trade comes through. Piero gets caught with a grenade in his hand, though, so can't quite answer back as quickly as he would have liked. Stays alive, though, which is important. Elevate now in a bit of a limbo. Have to make a decision whether to get that bomb and plant it or just hold and wait for the inevitable push to come through. Bid's checking the angles towards the back. Wardy's going to get caught on his way in, though, and that might just be the signal for Elevate to get this bomb down. Even with the bomb planting, you're kind of then in a 2v2, aren't you? So, are they in a position to do this? Are they baiting it out? They're trying to. Wow. Piero, oh, he falls so quickly, and Elevate, my word, 5-3 now. Looking so good here on the final day of the EU Season 4 Elite Challengers. And Wardy just gets caught off guard in that scenario, but those shots from Weeman and I think it was Hixie, actually, who found the first one that we've seen on transition over towards the site. 5-3 now, Ellen. I mean, what do Amelia Strays do here? They're losing the first bloods this past couple of rounds, and it really is telling.
I mean, if you look at the stat line, we got 5-7, 5-5-1, and 7-7-6. So, I mean, maybe just that one player, but realistically, I'm not sure. It's tough. It's tough. It's just certain positionings. Maybe they just need to position themselves better, or play more aggressive. Either way, they need to play they need to play their game. So now, as they push into that B site, hopefully they can get this down. But again, Elevate know exactly what's happening, so the full man push is going to happen. But Pixie. Oh, I was gonna say he was left alive, but now he's rotating over, so I believe that they're gonna wait. All exits and entrances covered. So really it's just gonna come down to these gunfights. Denza takes down Traxter. Watson trades out Bid street side, so now Denza weak street, but Piero finally get a kill on the board. Takes down Hixie, so now this is a 3 versus 2. This is doable. Denza takes down Piero now. A 2 versus 2, 16 seconds left. Pressure's on. I don't know if they can do this time, but it's fast.
Oh, he heard him.
And they did. They did. Oh my goodness. See, it's just those gunfights, but man, Elevate do it. They do it in such a convincing fashion and just take it 6-3.
Comfortable. Really feels like the word to best describe it so far for Elevate. Look at this run, Denza finds this first gunfight into Piero, and you can see Wardy's the other side of the window. He's ready to jump up. Turns around, and he must just hear him. The jump up comes through. He heals him. Coming to check it. His teammate wins the fight on the other side. Fantastic stuff once again from the side of Elevate, who are looking really strong here. And look, they'll be looking at this game as something needs to an end, aren't they? They need to get through this. They want to go up against Oakless. Time and time again, we've seen these teams match up. The past couple of seasons, we talked about how close things have been. Yes, they have, but undoubtedly, Elevate have been the best team. Oakless has started that rise once again, and it is setting us up for a potential really, really crazy grand final later on this evening. But this is how Elevate got things done in this search and destroy here, Ellen. And it was very close. There was a couple of rounds that did just come down to the wire, but as those latter rounds came in, Elevate just felt like they were easing into their stride, and once they hit it, Amelia Strays just could not keep pace.
Absolutely. And like I said, when I was watching this, it really seemed like the teamwork from Elevate is just so clean, so pristine, and they're getting their trades and putting themselves in such great positioning. So it's not like Amelia Strays is down completely, but looking at this next game with Elevate being such a strong control team, they're gonna have to play tighter. They're gonna have to play just damn well near perfect. I mean, Elevate, they're hot, guns blazing right now, Ton. I don't know what they can do to essentially shut them out, because every opportunity that they have, it just seems like they can't close.
And we're coming into the game mode that we kind of favor mostly for Elevate as well. With that control, they've always looked good on this game mode. And yesterday, I'm trying to recall Mavericks against Elevate. What was... Sorry, not Mavericks against Elevate. Mavericks up against Amelia Strays. I'm trying to remember what the control map was specifically. I'll go back through and have a look. to see how Amelia Estrella did do. I know it's different teams entirely, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll double check.
I was gonna say, don't ask me. I don't remember.
Top of my head, I'm gonna have a very quick look just because I am very curious. So against Mavericks. This is all at the Call of Duty League website, by the way. I'd love to see that. It was a 3-2 to Amelia Estrella on Checkmate. So it's very, very different. Raid for them as well. I don't hate the map for them as an overall map, of course, but Raid Control, it's just the game mode. Just a fantastic one for Elevate. And they're a team who have just consistently looked solid on it, but let's have a look what these guys are actually playing for this evening. There is a lot on the line, Ellen, and it has to be said. First place, $20,000. That's what everybody will be staring at. 10,000 per second, of course. Getting into today guarantees you a minimum of $5,000. So nice to see that for some of the teams, of course, as well. But even for just qualifying 8th place, yes, okay, they don't get through as our 7th, but they still get $1,000 for their participation. And it was so close across the board. I think some of those teams would be looking at it thinking, we could have maybe gotten to that knockout stage. We could have potentially gotten to the single elimination today as well. But still, so much money on the line, and we still have one more season to go. Then we've got champs. I mean, we've still got a lot of money to give away this season.
Yeah, and at least these 4 teams that are playing today, I mean, we'll see them in stage 5. So just making it here even, they have to be happy with themselves. They have to be at least somewhat satisfied, even if, not placing first, of course, today, but you still have another chance at it to do it next season. And last season already, I can't believe it. It's playing the violin ton. I'm playing it. It's so crazy how fast the year flew by, but not as fast as these gunfights. Imperio's already hot with the first blood on the Wee Man.
Finds Wee Man, and that's going to be a good defensive start for Amelia Estrella. And what's the route here for Elevate? Well, that's a big kill for Denzer to find inside of Money, because that's going to be the route over towards B coming on through. Jackster trying to fly by and good shots, but not quite good enough. Wee Man finding another. Hixie takes down Watson as well. This might be B already over towards the side of Elevate. Wow. Amelia Estrella going to have another go at it here, but I don't know if they're going to be there in time. Wardy will find Denzer on the flank as well. They could do with getting rid of him. They do so. Only Piero in a spot to slow this one down. Look at the shots from Hixie. And he may well just lock this one in himself as well. Amelia Estrella have choked that one up. And with 1 minute and 11 seconds on the clock, boost that up to 2 minutes and 11 because Elevate have got a hold of B. What a start to the round. I mean, you couldn't ask for more of the other side of Elevate.
You couldn't. You have 2 minutes left. You haven't even died yet, and you captured the harder point. Like, this is a good cakewalk. But I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen that fast. Again, now Amelia Estrella. There's still 2 members on the point of A, but gonna see how they're gonna defend this one. As Bid's already taking down Watson and getting set up this art side, and Wardy is still on the A capture site, but Wee Man is in laundry too. So although Wardy did just take down Bids, and Hixie does take down Wardy. I was going to say, Wardy could have been in a good position, but you got Hixie on there. Now Hixie's looking to control Art. Has a gunfight with Watson, but Watson takes down Hixie. And overall, the bloodbath is just happening in that Art site. And now Amelia Estrella having somewhat of a little bit better handle on the spawn trap here. They're pushed up into Art. Imperio gets a couple of shots into some members, and again, they have to keep this level of aggression up, and can they keep it up for 1 whole minute? And the live advantage for Amelia Estrella. This might be a better situation, so Elevate is going to have to figure out how they're going to take this one.
Yeah, I don't like that from Elevate. It kind of felt 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 over and over again. They don't get any control from it. All of a sudden, it's enabled players like Wardy to start heating up. Piero saves him as well. Now, if you're Elevate, you get a hold of B so quickly, you expect to get this done. It's 1 good push, though. That's all it could potentially take. Wardy finds one from behind, and I feel this with Amelia Estrella has just been a constant nuisance in and around Art. It's made things so difficult for the side of Elevate, who have to slow things down. They've got time on their side here, but good shots from Hixie. 6v8, technically. 1 more respawn. Going to be coming up here for the side of Elevate, and they've got to make it count. There it is. 18 seconds. You've got 4 lives. You need to go make that 3. Wee Man answers back. Finds a second as well. Amelia Estrella, the reinforcements are here. Piero, the slow push from behind. Bids falls. Wee Man falls. Hixie now in a 1 versus 6. Not impossible, but very much improbable. In that defensive round after losing B so quickly. But I mean, look, what I liked about that, they weren't just sort of turtling up on the A site. They were looking for art control consistently. They can flank behind. They can push the spawns back. Very, very well played from the side of Amelia Strays. The aggression comes out and it pays off.
Yep, you're exactly right. They didn't choose to turtle up, and essentially they favored art more so over laundry, and I like that too as well, because just keeping that aggression obviously in that art side, it was beneficial. And they, at that point, it's not really much so worried about the capture point, it's more so worried about the kills, right? You just keep getting them, and don't, because essentially Elevate had 2 minutes to capture, so if you want to decrease that time, get the kills. Now, Amelia Stray is already working a full man A hit. Watson already set up in that art side, looking to get a pick. Traxter on the point as well, just trying to get some time here. But now Elevate looking to be strong to do the same thing that they did. It's 3 down for Amelia Stray. Make it 4, make it the whole team. Elevate, kind of mad about that last one, coming out with a heat.
Yeah, they're playing angry. That's a round they really should be walking away with. You get a hold of B that early, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. To get a hold of the A point on raid should be more than enough. It really should be. They've started this one off very, very hotly though. Only 1 player dropping so far. 5 streak for Denza. If he can get streaks going, we know how important they can be on this map. There's one onto Chaxter. Nearly there, a couple of more kills. Not going to come through. Piero does find 1 kill for the team of Amelia Strays, but it's probably the most important one. Expecting the push to come out from Wee Man. Bit of a staggered push now for Amelia Strays. Elevate, not really with a lot of real estate in terms of the defensive side of things. They push over towards A, they clear that out, but 20 seconds remaining. Amelia Strays have put all their eggs in towards the B basket, and they've got to make this count.
Yep. They do. They certainly do. They have Hixie and Biggs to worry about, and Pirio with a huge 2-piece. There we go. Now Wardy fighting the pool steps. Wee Man looking to take him out, but
Wardy.
he gets taken out himself, and then Denza with the trade. So now there's still 2 members of Amelia Strays capturing this point, and there's 14 seconds left. So this is going to be very tough if you're Pirio, and he gets taken down by Bids. So that's a full man wipe for Amelia Strays. 5 seconds left. This is not looking like it's going to be them. So Elevate do take the defensive round now, evening it up 1-1.
Well played by Elevate. Come out with a strong defense, but hopefully they won't be sitting there kicking themselves thinking this could have been 2-0. This could have been pretty much a game done and dusted. They do get the defensive round in. One thing that's important as well is if it does go to that final round, they hold that very, very cleanly. Amelia Strays get very little onto that, so bear that in mind. If we do need to see a round number 5, we may well be heading into these grand finals very, very quickly, depending on, of course, the next game that's going to be coming up. We'll be watching each and every map from every single game this evening. Of course, you have Oglis taking on Mavericks after this one. The winners coming on to play the winners of this game, which is looking more and more likely to be the squad of Elevate. Big air hit coming from them immediately. Piero, Chaxter, both full. Elevate have got their teeth in towards A, and that might be gone. That might be done already.
Well, we did say that last time around, and Amelia Strays were able to pull it off. So this time around, it's A that is going to look like it's going to get captured first, because I don't believe Amelia Strays is going to go for this one. So we're just looking to get set up for B and prepare for the same thing. So now Denza looking to work to fight the back. Gets amazing shots on the Chaxter there into the kitchen. And
oh my. What is what?
What?
Can we look at Wardy and see what gun that is?
What? Oh my goodness. All right.
Whatever it was, as you would say, he's shooting rockets. That was ridiculous. Wardy with the shots in. They are going to hold this down. It had to have been a Craig. I refuse to believe that that was a 7 for you.
Probably. But once again, Amelia Strays, I mean, they're looking to do the same thing. They already cleared out Elevate off their point, which could have been a disaster pushing for that A site. Wardy's still alive now on a 3 streak, controlling this laundry side, but gets taken down by Denza. And now, once again, the floods from poolside was coming in, and that level of aggression from the side of Amelia Strays working to essentially work that spawn. But Pool House cleared, front push comes through. Watson takes down Wee Man, but Hixie gets the trade. So now looks like this might be a nice opening for Elevate to get set up on point here, as they have kitchen control, they have the kitchen money control, and they're on the point. And this is looking scary for Amelia.
Yeah, Amelia Strays are really in a bad spot here, especially when Hixie's hitting those shots. He's got basketball court on lock. Look at the shots coming through onto Piero. The stack comes through, so does the round. Elevate 2-1 up. Heading into defensive round. You're 2-0 up in the series. 2-1 up in the control. I said into a defensive round as well. You've got to be feeling good, and this is a scary prospect for whoever does get through in the other semi-final. If Elevate do close it in this way. Amelia Strays have been all but brushed aside here. Kind of like a bit of an afterthought for Elevate. They're thinking about the big prize, they're thinking about the grand final, and unfortunately for Amelia Strays, they have just got in their way.
Yeah, it's tough. But on the attacking side this time, this is looks interesting. They're waiting for Elevate. Elevate pushes aggressively through mid, and that's 2 down. Now Wee-Man, he gets the trade! So that's insane! Elevate pushes through the middle. Amelia Strays waits for it, and instantly, just like that, just picks him up. Now they're in a good position, essentially, to have that aggressive spawn trap. Denza already getting shots into Pirio, but now they have to control this art side. And then once again, Hixie, just that aggression coming in from Elevate. And man, this is going to be such a complete bloodbath if Amelia Strays gets trapped here and Hixie just keeps doing his work into art.
He's having a hell of a game. 18 and 12 out of him, 25 and 13 out of Denza. And they're kind of just doing what Amelia Strays did when Elevate got a hold of B. They've been controlling art, they've just been annoying. So hard for Amelia Strays to really get their teeth in over towards A. Denza with some good shots onto the first player, Wardy. Jack's going to challenge that though and will find the kill. This is the first time we've seen Amelia Strays get control. A should be in their hands now with 30 seconds remaining. The lives though, in the side of Elevate, looking a little bit better for them. They got B to defend for what will be a minute and a half now.
Yep, definitely a better situation than last time around, but they have a minute and a half. Still can do it, but Bids controlling right on the flank, and then we have Wee-Man who's locking down once again Laundry. And so now last alive in the back, Laundry now is Traxter. So can they work something here? Traxter's gonna have to stay alive there, and also again Elevate pushed up in their base, but the aggressive mid's gonna push, come in through pool stairs, and Wardy able to take down Wee-Man. Can he get the second onto Denza? No, Denza stays alive in that top bedroom, bottom bedroom area. And once again, it's Amelia Strays, who's on the point, but Hixie working to get a nice 2-piece on the flank. That's 3 down again for Amelia Strays, and Traxter left alive on the B site. No, he gets taken down again, and that's a full wipe once again. And the last person alive on the pool steps is Pirio. Never mind. Again, it's just Elevate. That's all you see on the kill feed once again.
35 seconds here for Amelia Stray as well. They currently only have one more respawn to come up for them, but it takes one good push. It's not over till the fat lady is singing, and let's see if Amelia Strays can keep her quiet. Watson and Co now pushing onto the side. This needs to be clean from them though. Piero finds one. Hixie will fall. Piero finds a second as well. This is doable. Bids and Denza though finding kills, and all of a sudden it becomes very, very difficult. Wardy finds 2 though. What is that? Still Traxter with him. They'd have to find so much. The second tick comes in. Elevate, you've got to just take your time. Here comes the break, and surely it will fall, and surely Amelia Strays are done. Elevate cleanly find themselves in that first spot in the grand final with a 3-0 convincing and dominating 3-0 win over the side of Amelia Strays. They get it done in fantastic fashion, and Elevate are going to be feeling hella good heading into those grand finals later on this evening.
Well, certainly opened up fast for them, and it does seem like Elevate did play them in the regular season. It was the 3-0 then as well.
Yep.
Amelia Strays falling a little bit earlier than they did last time, but Elevate, certainly the team to beat coming into this one. I know there's been an awful lot of hype around them. This new team has been putting so many teams to the sword here, but Ellen, what do we think about this team's chances of taking the whole thing now?
I haven't seen Orgless yet today. So, I mean, but right now they're looking really good. I mean, I would say at least first or second, honestly. Just their teamwork and communication and their chemistry, like you can see it in their gameplay. And I think for every single game mode, it looks almost perfect. I mean, even mistakes that they were making, they still were able to correct and capitalize on it. So just looking into it, I think Elevate, they're just looking super, super strong.
Yeah, I think so as well. And we'll keep an eye on them for the rest of the tournament because, well, now they're in our grand final. Amelia Strays are going to leave our playoffs here. It is single elimination because they played the round robin, the knockout bracket, and everything that has come before. So they go out top 4 for them. Ton, do you think that's a disappointing finish for them?
Look, they will be disappointed. I think any team who is in the Elite Challengers, you go in to win it, don't you? But considering they had to make the roster change, obviously things didn't quite go as swimmingly as they did last season for them. But I feel as if last season they caught a lot of teams off guard. They came in, nobody really expecting them to look as good as they did. You could argue they overachieved last season. I think coming into this season, they kind of maybe found their level maybe a little bit more. And again, that's no disrespect to them, and they will want to push a bit further. But last season, they looked fantastic. They had to make the change. Top 4, it's not too bad of a result for me.
Yeah, it's certainly. I think you're right there. I think realistically, I mean, Strays still got more to work on. Coming top 4 in Challenge Elite, still a very good achievement for that team. But from one great game of Call of Duty to, well, many more games of Call of Duty, let's now take a look at our schedule for today's broadcast and all the games that are, of course, coming up. So we are going to have our first game now, our first semi-final. Elevate taking down Amelia Strays 3-0. Coming up next, though, Orgless versus Mavericks. The winner of that will go on to face Elevate in our grand final, 1:30 p.m. PT or 10:30 p.m. CET. So make sure you stick around for those 2 fantastic games. I am very much looking forward to seeing it. And I suppose the next thing to talk about here is, of course, our next semi-final. Orgless is the team that we've highlighted a little bit as Mavericks managed to get through our knockout bracket yesterday, but it certainly wasn't clean, Ton.
No, it was very, very difficult for them to get through. They just about get it done. I believe it was 6-4 last map in the losers bracket, the second chance they had after, some maybe questionable search and destroy play. So, look, they'll be heading into this. Their backs are against the wall. Orgless, they came into the season after a poor season in season number 3. They made the change, Josh out, Gizmo in. At first, okay, it took a while for them to get in their stride, but now that they are there, they look really, really good. Winning the most recent Challengers Cup at the weekend as well. That kind of puts them in a really good spot for today. Going up against Elevate is going to be the hard task. They should still be able to get past Mavericks, though, and it is a difficult call for Mavericks, it has to be said, but top 4, once again, is not a bad result for them. I feel as if Europe is super close, but for me, the top 2 teams undisputably this season, from the standings as they are correct as well, Elevate and Orgless were kind of above and beyond everybody else. So I think we're going to see that from this second semi-final, and well, we will see a very good grand final if that is the case.
All right, a lot of predictions there, Ton. Well, we'll have to see if that's how it actually ends up playing out between these 2 teams. Don't go anywhere. Coming up after the break, we will see Orgless take on the Mavericks here in Challengers Elite. We'll see you right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Call of Duty Challengers Elite. My name is Bryce, and we're back early because the players are ready. Essentially, this doesn't happen very often in Call of Duty, but it is happening now, so we will continue to play the game. And I suppose the question I'm going to ask here is, Ellen, who do you think is going to win out of these two?
Man, I hate this question. I mean, because you know what? Okay, of course it's been Orgless. It's been Orgless that has been dominating. But you know what? Backs against the wall. Of course, Mavericks. We've seen them pull through when they're under pressure. Reverse sweeps. We've seen it happen. So depending on the type of the situation that they're in, I can potentially see Mavericks pull through. But you just can't ignore with the record, with the standings, how strong Orgless has been. It's going to be definitely interesting to see, but I don't know, Bracey. I would say Orgless, but again, I've seen Mavericks just come back with crazy comebacks, especially Eric Boom.
All right, well, let's find out exactly how this one is going to go down as we jump into this game. On board with Super to kick things off this time around, though. And he has had some fantastic plays over the last couple of days. Let's see if he can continue it when it matters, as he will eventually go down to Gizmo in the plane.
Yep, and already looking to have control. Orgless starting off strong, but Mavericks do have the advantage as they have potentially a play here, but Harry just locking down this plane. As Super does get a two-piece now, but the nade flying in, of course, they have to worry about that rotation to new. So, once again, Super starting off pretty strong on a 3 streak. Excuse me, make it 5, baby, as he tags up Nasty, but he has his teammate there to help him. So now Mavericks, they're going to have to work this rotation here. Brycey, 10 seconds left on the first point. And now you have Sukri, who is set up P2, but they have 2 members of Orgless to worry about.
Now, the key thing you've got to keep an eye on here is the mini-map, because essentially as soon as Orgless die, and wherever they spawn, they'll start to figure out, never mind, Sukri's ended up taking a shot anyway, and now Orgless have got to go back for him. Sukri gets 2. That is devastating to Orgless, who thought they had it secured. Like I said before, there was no spawn to give them any inclination that they had lost it, or that Sukri was at the back here. Now they're going to have to try and get him out. Sukri gets another one here, eventually taken down by Vortex. And it's going to be a little bit of a scrabble to try and regain control.
Just a little bit of scrabble, and that was huge from Sukri. But once again, Orgless still are on the point, but Super here just looking to play, maybe get a pick or 2. But the contest still comes in as the push does come into the front. Be Cold taking down Nasty. Now Sukri with the trade on Gizmo, and once again, it's Stevo who's last alive. He has a pinch for 2 players to worry about. Eric Bloom, as he cleans up and gets that remaining 10 seconds left, and now as we move over to the first hill, Super's already there waiting. Nasty's already controlling the plane. Never mind. Super takes him down. And now what looks like, hopefully this time around, Orgless maybe gets set up, but it's still really close between both teams.
Unbelievable play there from Sukri. Orgless were expecting a money hill, and they did not get very much out of it at all. But as we rotate to underneath plane here, you can see both teams posturing for position. This is certainly not something you want to just fly out with giving away spawns for it, but it will be Stevo to go in first. Finds Vehicle, is going to be able to get that first kill, but still playing his life. Looking for that player who's currently on point. Does have reinforcements now, as they do take the time. But they have cleared their own back line, and this does mean they can now start fighting for where they need to be.
That's right. And now, hopefully, I have a lead change here, but Gizmo managed to hold that plane, and Harry hold this streak downside. Like you said, it's going to be very, very hard to Mavericks come through, but 2 players go down, trades come in, and Super managed to get out, but he still has to wait for his teammates as Orgless still set up on that street side. Sukri able to take down Gizmo, but once again, the street side fights come in, and it's Mavericks who have control, but it's still Orgless who have the spawns and rotation for the new hill. But once again, Mavericks still putting a pretty fair, good fight up against Orgless, as once again, they still remain in control, and B. Cole just still trying to duck out with his life as he waits for his teammates to spawn in. He's just thinking about that rotation towards new, so maybe working that blue side wouldn't be such a bad feat.
It shouldn't be too bad, but both teams at the moment able to just keep this one contested. It does seem like Mavericks will now get straight control, and you can see here they're going to go straight for this push through. It's not going to be an easy way to do it, though. Orgless are stacked here, ready and waiting. Mavericks, though, are going to probably wait to secure this time and will go into the lead. And then we'll be looking for any gap coming through. It's almost Gizmo who lets the wall forward to begin with. Vehicle trying to punch, but now more players of Mavericks moving into vision. Super already gets one. Finds Gizmo as well. That's going to punch a small hole coming through. Can Nasty hold on as they're going up to it as well? Sukri is there for the trade, and they have got the spawn. That is everything Mavericks needed to break this hill.
That was it. And then now the spawn, Orglis is still spawning there. So essentially Orglis is still spawning the hill, and then that back tower Mavericks is spawning in. So Harry, recognizing that, gets a couple of shots in the vehicle, and he manages to get away with his life, but he still has to worry about Super, as Super is just patiently waiting in that green tool room, and he finds him. Nope, Harry able to connect, but it's still now the spawn's flipped again, and now it's Orglis who have it. But 28 seconds left. You're going to see those plane fights start to happen as Sukri essentially just took down Gizmo. And it's just, once again, yeah, it's just Orglis who have this control. But Vico off the point with a huge nade. Never mind, they don't get that scrap time, as I was just about to say. It's Mavericks who are just kind of surprising. I believe maybe for some of us, surprising us maybe here.
They are really putting a fight up against Orglis, who were the favorites coming into this, of course. And now you can see this plane break. A little bit difficult. You need a few bodies to get through to make this happen, because our fighting around office is usually very, very difficult to get in. Steve-O going to be trying as well. Checks the first corner. It doesn't matter. He's got backup as well. And they now have breaches to bring this into a contest. The next step here for Orglis is to try and flip it round. And that's what Harry is trying to do. As you can see him heading towards the back, slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely, but this time Sukri ruined their dreams, and now it's Super as he takes him down. So once again, Mavericks still have the spawns. Steve-O winning that huge gunfight on the Eric Boom, still alive on the point. It's contested, no time is being taken, but Orglis is really going to have to start thinking about the spawns for new, as Mavericks is still slaying them out, pushing them back. Once again, it's just blue on your kill feed as you see Super going off right now. 17 and 10, by the way, on a 2 streak. And once again, it's just all time and time again, we just see Mavericks holding those rotations pretty well here.
Yeah, this time, nobody in the back to actually end up trying to flip this one out. And you can see, this is the difficulty. This is what Orglis tried to do in the first rotation. Hold this down, don't let them get anywhere close. Super pushing way up for this one as well. But with players back, blocking the spawn should be enough to not let them spawn out this time. And they're continuing to get the rest of this time. It should be all locked in for them. Orglis will probably have one last push and then try to rotate and regain some of these points on P3. But however, Harry's managed to punch through, is going to go instantly down. There's too many members of Mavericks there.
Yeah, now with 15 seconds left, it looks like they're still might go for the push, but no. Steve-O with a huge 2-piece again. And this is just, they have to hold control here, but it's definitely much harder for the plane. Realistically, if they want to bring this back, they would have to get some good time on this one and the next rotations. And Mavericks looking to break this one as Nasty holding down that blue street, takes down Vehicle, and he has to worry about Sukri. Kind of holding it out there, but players for Mavericks are flooding from all points, it looks like. But Orglis kind of spread out evenly through that plane side, street side, and blue side. They're just controlling all lanes. But now Vehicle able to get a first pick on Gizmo, that opening side. Might have an opening, but Nasty's still here. Still here, the blue side, on holding that head glitch and getting a couple shots in the wing onto Super, but it's Mavericks once again who are able to clean it off. And Orglis, although they did get a little bit of time on that hill, this is a good position for them if they manage to hold the rotation coming into new. 15 seconds left. This is going to be really important for here for this hill, because if Mavericks essentially hold every single second, this is, well, I mean, it's gonna be closer towards a win here. So Orglis, they really need to step it up on this next hill.
They do. Fortunately, they do have the spawns, and if they can just get a little bit of pressure on, they may have a chance to come back into this, but it's still going to be difficult. But with 2 players going down as well, Harry's going to go for another one. He is managing to get it, but he needs teammates to back him up here as well. Eric Boom will be watching long, and now they've got time onto it. The problem will be is that Mavericks will know this and will try to rotate round and take away wood spawn, something Orglis cannot allow to happen. But fortunately, Harry is ready back playing steps. He's now going to call this one out. Eric Boom takes him down, though. It's now going to be Gizmo who has to hold it. He's got Super and Eric Boom gunning at him. And that is a problem. Harry is having to backpedal here and try to hold on these players he knows are pushing.
Yeah, he has Gizmo there with him though, so that's a good thing. But Super actually, Gizmo does take down Eric Boom, but now there's Super to worry about, and Harry does too. So that's done. Spawns are cleared out. Mavericks are coming to the front, and Steve-O dancing around Eric. Woo! He had his teammate there to clean him up, so we're good. Orglis now holding this point in a good position, and Mavericks are gonna essentially rotate to that street side, plane side, but overall, looks like Orglis, Harry just locking down. All the ARs locking down each lane, and Zukri, what was that? Takes down Gizmo and Super Harry on the opposition side. And now they're just dropping. The members of Orglis are dropping, and Mavericks have an opening break in the back, and the floods are going to come through. So Steve-O last alive on the point, able to take down Eric Boom. He is by himself. He has Harry there to work with, but now Mavericks have the spawns in the back, and he's all alone. Never mind, he's all not alone. He gets taken down by Vehicle, and now 20 seconds left. Orglis brought it back a little bit. This is going to get shaky.
Well, this is where it gets a bit tense here because Mavericks are going to be in lethal range. They're going to try and clear this one out as well. It does mean Orglis have to start putting bodies into plane. And when you do that, when you have to commit to this P1 spawn, you could potentially throw away that P2 spawns. You can see them doing it now. You can already see Mavericks not really hitting this as hard as they could do. They are trying to find a way to punch through themselves. So we're going to try it, find Harry at the back here, and actually ends up winning that gunfight. That is disastrous for them. Steve-O, though, in the plane, will hold it down for just a little while longer. They cannot win it in this plane, so they have to hold not only this, but the rotation as well.
That's right, 35 seconds left to do so. Mavericks, how are they going to break this one as they flood through? Secret is taken out. Steve-O still streaking out, takes down Super, but Beeple thought maybe he had that advantage with that two-piece, but again gets traded out nasty, just absolutely destroying everybody. 3 streak for him. They're already set up for spawns. Orglis in a very good position, and Mavericks, it's gonna be hard to break this next rotation, but the lead change, Orglis taking to 229 to 220. They have control here, Brycey. It's just, it's gonna be hard for them to break, but it's not impossible.
It certainly isn't. However, big gunfight's already going down. Nasty, though, defends the point here at the same time. And Steve-O in a great position. Super's going to go into the tube as well. Harry having to back off a bit. There are players running through. Super is doing a great job of pulling Orglis different directions, but they've got to end up hitting the hill. He needs his teammates to hit the front here at the same time. Super's got a little bit wild and hasn't gone towards it. I know he had to play his life. I know he had to do the work there, but the time was going. I wonder if he thought his teammates were going to get there a bit sooner.
Yeah, it honestly looked like he thought his teammates maybe were closer. Maybe he thought they were closer, but yeah, I agree. That's tough. That is tough. But honestly, with such a hot start, I mean, if you're Mavericks, that's got to be a little bit, that has to be tough. But I mean, with Orglis and how close that game was, I think we're in for a real treat.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these two teams are well versed in playing each other at the very least, and there was a lot of back and forth there. I've got to say, I think one of the highlights of the play for me was probably Sukri at the back. You know, when he said that, he kind of just devalued their entire P2 rotation on that first set of rotations for Orglis. And when he did that, that's one of the starting of them actually going into the lead here. You got to remember that Orglis came from behind to win that with some great rotations, locking down things like Wooden Street, allowing them to essentially get double time, swung them straight back into it. Look at this point here, right? 197 to 127. Orglis not only managed to hold this push from Mavericks, but fought them back out and then somehow, even after losing it at the last, pushed them out of P1 and got into P2 and locked that one down as well. It was consistent rotation juggling that got them the win in this half point.
Yeah, and even just having that was such a clutch play from Sukri. I mean, it was looking like Mavericks was just gonna floor away with that one with just how sneaky that play was. But Orglis is just one of those teams, as I said earlier, when you have mistakes that happen in the game, or essentially, I'm sure they saw it as that. How did he get back there? They didn't let it affect them, and they capitalized on it. Still able to take the win. So, just with that level of mentality from that team, it's just. What's the word I was looking for? Now I lost my complete train of thought. But either way, I just, composure? they're a composure. Thank you. Yes, they kept composure. Thank you, Bryce.
That's no problem. You are right, but the real key here for the composure is not when that happens, it's when the big games happen. Like, we've still got a lot of this series left to go. And we know that these two teams will be fighting tooth and nail to go the entire distance for it. By the way, if we didn't cover this before, these are the maps we will be seeing throughout this one. We've got a double raid, Express S&D is up next, and there's a Hardpoint Moscow in there as well. And speaking of Express Search and Destroy, I believe we are ready and waiting to get into this. Now, we've seen Mavericks on this map a few times, and it's always entertaining.
Yeah, to say the least. I believe I quote tweeted yesterday a crazy clip from who was that? Super? No, excuse me, Eric Boo.
Eric.
Everybody, I've seen clips from all of them. So yeah, Express S&D is their playground, as you already see. Members of Orgless. There's only one last alive. Harry, the bomb, is swinging. It looks like over to B. So this will definitely create some confusion for Harry here. And yeah, Bracey. I mean, I say it was Eric definitely, but I mean, let's be real. All members of Mavericks were just going off of yesterday when their composure was threatened. So expecting to see that here.
Well, Harry, though, if he makes this pick, this is going to be huge. Brings it back to a 1v1, and he knows where that bomb will be. The problem is he has no idea where Sukri currently is. Now, he's already looked towards the spawn tunnel. He's going to end up checking it again. He has it a shoulder there as well, and that's the 1 versus 2. Already locking it down in this first one. And that first pick, Harry just managed to get a little bit lucky, but also a lot of awareness.
That's right. Definitely a lot of awareness. Awareness, that's another keyword. Composure, awareness. Those key Call of Duty words. Gotta love them. But now, yeah, it was looking like I was a Mavericks take, but Harry, maybe can't count him out. 3-0 right now. Not a bad start.
Wow. On board with Harry once again. And you can see this big push comes in towards A here. Keep an eye on Sukri. He's actually falling back here. And I think now that Mavericks know, they are going to try and retake here at the same time. A few players on bridge actually going to cause a bit of a distraction. Harry just playing it, shouldering it, waiting for his teammate to get this bomb down and hopefully allowing his teammate to get out. That's what they want here. Nasty will get out as well. It's a 4v4 retake. Mavericks now have to make a move.
4v4 retake. Here it comes. Nasty, already knowing where Vico is, throws a nade and he connects a little bit, but he has his teammate Harry, of course, there with him. Estevo takes down Eric Boom, and now the push is coming in. Nasty taking down Super. Vico getting traded by Gizmo, and Gizmo once again. And just so fast as the trades come in, Orgless able to take that 2-0. And that aggression, that's what we expect from this team. We already know how aggressive they can play, and just quickly getting that bomb down, getting set up. Something that we always expect to see from them. So not a bad start. 2-0 now.
It's always a difficult retake on that bomb site, though. There are so many angles you've got to play, even with 4 players to go through. Like, you have to check it in and hopefully get a pinch in, but they had no one really on the flank as far around as they were hoping. And it caused a few issues for them as well. And Super, though, that's an interesting thing that's just happened. So the fact that he has been flashed here has been August to think that there is somewhat of a push or players around this area. So they may be a little bit late to the rotation to A here.
Yep, and with them being late, we might have a free plant, but Sukri already aggressive, takes down Stevo, and the bomb is down. So Elevate able to pick that up now. Eric Boo manages to get the bomb and skedaddle out of there, but looking for those players as Super takes down Harry, now controlling the bridge side. Now he's left in a 1 versus 2 situation. 45 seconds left on the clock here, Bricey. Not sure exactly how he's going to play this one, but
we've seen Super do this before.
Yeah.
Although he's already in trouble, the second player gets the pinch, and August now up 3-0. Big plays already from them on this S&D, not slowing down at all from their win on the hard point. Look at that, Nasty. Pre-aim centered beautifully to take down the Mavericks player. And you've got to ask yourself here, how do Mavericks adjust? How do they figure out a different way of going at this? Well, it's August on the attack this time around. We'll see off the break exactly where they are looking to go. And it does seem like they may be going for a bit of a mid-map control and straight through. Oh, they're actually going to play for a pick here. Look at this, Steve in the corner. Already backed up by a teammate as well. And that's first blood to August.
Definitely make things easier. Now with that first blood, the bomb is going to wrap over, it looks like, to the A side. So Mavericks kind of still maybe picking up on that. Super's just rotating around. So A little bit of a patience coming in, and Nasty takes down Sukri, so this is gonna make things harder, but that'll make things not harder. And it's just, again, Orglis just so fast with the speed.
Wow.
Every round is just,
looking to,
you blink, the gunfights happen, and you blink, and it's just, that's it. I mean, look.
Orglis has
Locking
speed running
it
this
down.
S&D so far. But
Yeah.
we'll see whether or not Mavericks have something in the tank here. They are now on the attack, and the onus goes on to them. Realistically, they have to try and figure out a strategy that is going to work for them here. And already off the rib, it does seem like they may be going for a big A hit, trusting themselves. Orglis have picked wrong. They've gone B straight away. The benefit is that some of them may overextend and try to get a pinch on going forward. They know nobody's there at the moment. Mavericks have chosen to kind of split and maybe wait for a pick or a push. They were expecting aggression, and it hasn't come in the air that they wanted. Right now, neither team knows where the other team is. They're just kind of all posturing for position in their own spawns.
Yeah, and that was smart for Orglis because essentially they switched up their game style. They switched up their gameplay. We've seen teams where they constantly play the same thing over and over again, but now with the 2-2 split, we got Gizmo. We have Stevo, the sub duo on the pinch. So now they're set up for a perfect pinch here. If they know Mavericks is down low by B, they can collapse on this. So now the question is if they can get them in the back. And as he does, Super gets taken down. Now that definitely puts them in a good position here. 28 seconds left on the clock here, Brycey. Can they plant? And the rotation's going to happen towards over to A, quickly getting out of there as they know Orglis is set up. But now the race is going to be on. Can he get this bomb down? Can Orglis recognize it as fast in time? Looks like
Gizmo's going straight for it. He knows something must be happening here. Finds the first gunfight. Not going to get the second, though. Harry in a clutch scenario one more time. This time, though, that bomb is down. I think he knows Eric Boo's in the area, and unfortunately, he has to throw a shoulder hand, has got away with it. Sukri's going to be here at the same time, and they've just run away. Harry now has the time against him, and I don't think this is looking plausible anymore.
Nope. And that was a very adaptable round from Mavericks, just recognizing that. Eric swinging that bomb over just as fast, excuse me. Well, it was Eric essentially, and then he died, and then Sukri picked it up. But swinging that bomb over as fast as they did, they just really adapted to how Orglis was playing. And that's probably why we saw maybe a little bit of patience coming from both teams in the middle. I mean, Orglis switched up their game style, and Mavericks is like, okay, we're going to switch it up too. We're going to wait for them. So kind of what they needed here for a round is, you know, being on match point is not ideal. So they need to bring it back now. As now the aggression, we switched up the game style. Now the aggression comes in towards that A site. And Sukri already taking down two, Gizmo and Nasty. Now Orglis left in a 2 versus 4.
This is not a great scenario. Bomb's going to go down. Harry's going to get one, but the trade will come in. They've got the numbers to do it. Stevo around the flank as well. I think that player saw him, and now he's just going to run away. Player's going to surround Stevo from all angles. Already taking a bit of damage. Going back up the top, and Super pre-fires, and down he goes. Mavericks have adjusted and just won 2 in a row.
Yep, and that's exactly what they needed to do. So, I mean, man, Sukri, I feel like you said it earlier, he was definitely the player to watch when it comes to search and destroy, because on Express, this is his playground, and he's just been doing just that. 6 and 4, man is on a 5 streak. Hopefully they can turn it around here for this team, but on the attacking side, did see a little bit of a patience coming out of both teams, so this time around we might see some aggression, but I wouldn't doubt it. We're just going to keep seeing some type of change-ups from both teams here, and it looks just like that. Stun check goes in. No one's there at A site, so Orglis, as they wrap over, knowing that no one's at B, this bomb might be easy for a plant, and Mavericks looking to be in a good setup to do so.
Yeah, this time they're all going to try and get through, and Suba already has blunted this spear. Oh, Stevo trying to come in, somehow managed to get the wall bang onto him as well. It's now down to a 3 versus 3. Stevo already retaking a bonfire, going straight in the train to get another one. Harry gets one as well. And Vehicle is left alone in a 1 versus 3. It's been fast and furious from August in this retake, and he's looking for it as well. And Harry had the pre-aim, and that will be 5-2 August.
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. Orglis, though, not losing composure. And the retake, beautiful. Realistically, Bryce, I don't know. What do you... I mean, we can obviously see that both teams are switching their play styles, but I mean, what do you think that what do you think they need to do to counter Orgless? I mean, I know we already know Orgless is so strong, but
I think when they play aggressive and manage to get into the mix, they're doing okay. I just think that sometimes they're losing 50-50 gunfights. And the truth being told, that happens in Call of Duty and it breaks the setups. You know, when Super got that first blood, I thought they might be able to play around it and get the bombs down. But Steve able to just come and be so aggressive on that retake that it kind of meant Mavericks were scrambling for position.
Well, now scrambling. This time around, it looks like in their spawn is they're going to work aggressive as Vehicle, taking Gizmo down in the back and Eric Boom to counter. So now that leaves Orgless trapped in lockers. They have the bomb there as well, so this is tough. Mavericks know exactly where they are. Eric Boom taking down Nasty. This is not looking plausible. And just like that, with the aggression answered back, Mavericks take that.
Oh, big play from them there in the end, and Mavericks still not out of this fight. 3 more rounds and they can take it. But can they is the real question, because Orgless still looking like the more dominant team here with a lot of how these rounds have gone. And I do like it though. The Mavericks are adjusting. They are figuring out strategies to counter Orgless at this time. And now on the attack, they get to dictate the pace a little bit. Figure out exactly where they want to go.
It looks like they might actually go towards A. I was thinking maybe a B push, but Orgless, all members of them are at B, and actually it might be just a patient play. So the members of Orgless, we might see that similar 2-2 split, and super.
This is patient. I'll give you that.
Yeah, yeah.
Just saw on the X-ray there, 3 members of Mavericks all laying down.
He got a kill.
Will manage to get that first blood, and it turns out crawling your way through mid-map can actually work at a high level. And now trying to capitalize on it as well, though. Steve brings it back to a 3 versus 3. The rest of the Mavericks team are trying to adjust to this. They were going to go for the plant, but now are losing bodies left, right, and center. Harry gets 2. Eric Boom fires back in a 1 versus 2 and has the bomb. Can he make this 1v3? Yesterday, the Mavericks relied on this man to go off and win Express Search and Destroy. And never have they needed him more. Looks like it could be a B plant here, unless he's going to try and wrap the whole way around. I don't think he has time, so he's going to plant it. And then Orgless will swoop into position.
Got the plan off. Now Nasty is going to work towards that ticket side with his teammate Harry in hand, and Eric Boom, he knows that potentially they could be down there. He's going to work a full wrap. I believe he's probably going to play for that train, but trainer catwalk, but either which way, if he could peek this, take down Nasty. Harry, he does, but Nasty's there, of course, for the trade. It's just impossible when you're in those trading positions, and Orgless, a very dominant fashion. What looked like Mavericks could have brought it back, though. It's one of those things, like you said, Eric Boom, we needed you. But either way, Orgless, it's just they're looking so dominant.
They certainly are. I think one of the key things about that actual play there as well was, realistically, August found that bomb and they were like, well, he's planted for downstairs, down the steps, somewhere around those areas to obviously be able to hit that player. The problem is while it misled slightly Orgless in the fact that they were looking for him a little bit longer down there rather than looking into the train kind of bridge or corridor, it did mean that when he actually went for that long flank and came back down corridor, because it wasn't planted for him, he had to launch out to it. Essentially what he wanted to do was get that kill and somehow get out of there. Not always the easiest for it. It could have worked out depending on how they were set up, but I don't know. I think when it's a 2v1 like that, he needed a little bit of luck, and August was just playing it correctly.
Yeah, I agree. It was tough just getting a kill, get out of there, but Orgless, obviously as smart as they are, put themselves in perfect positions to trade the kill, and that's exactly what happened. And it's just their teamwork and their chemistry. It's just in every situation possible, you can just see that they're just thriving in it, and that's just so tough if you're Mavericks, considering how well we've seen them play on this map yesterday, like you said. And well, it looked like they could have came back. It looked like they could have come back, but just the play style and just the adjustments that Orgless were making, it just was perfect. It was perfect, and it was what they needed to take the win.
Yeah, I mean, it really was. So we can see, though, does this end here? Realistically, I keep expecting Mavericks to come back into it. It could happen on the control. they do have to slow down a ridiculously strong August team. I don't know, Adam, what do you think?
Bright, stop asking me that. I mean, I'm telling you, I've said it earlier, I've seen Mavericks with their backs against the wall, and we've seen them pull through. So I'm not saying that it's not impossible for them to come back and reverse sweep. That concept applies to any team. But if you want to statistically look at it, and just with how well Orglis is playing as a team, it's kind of the same level as how Elevate was. Just tight knit. Their communication looks on point. Their ARs are playing good. The subs are playing good. You see the team splits, team pushes. Like, you just always see somebody hand in hand with another teammate. And just overall, I can see them. I can see them winning it. I really can. But again, can't count out Mavericks. Because you've just seen them turn up so many times, and I really like this squad, you know, and going into season 5, I really hope to just see them continue to grow, because this team has a lot of potential.
It really does, and I think at the moment, right, we're talking about obviously one of these two teams will go forward into the grand final. It does look like Auglis, obviously, they've had a very good time here. The first half point was close. The S&D was, for the majority of it, Auglis in control. Speaking of control, Raid is next for these two teams, and if you're Mavericks, you really have to dig deep and find a way to win this one. Start the reverse sweep. The problem being, of course, is that Auglis just look like the most dominant team. They look like they are running through this every step of the way. I don't know if Mavericks in their current form are going to be able to do it.
Correct. And I mean, if you take a look at Mavericks too, in terms of their raid, I mean, in terms of Orglis and raid, I mean, they essentially have won it more. So this might be a little bit more comfortable map for Orglis. But I mean, again, a team that has playing their maps that they're comfortable on, a team that has been a team for longer than, you know, Mavericks. It's one of those things, again, if I looked at this from a statistical standpoint, I would say Orglis. But if I looked at it from a standpoint where, you know, that's where this it really relies on the players. If Mavericks turn it around right here, this is just all going to be them and their mentality going into this next game. Play your game.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? Auglis only lost once during the regular season, and that was only to Elevate, the other team waiting for them in the grand final. It doesn't look good for Mavericks. That's the truth of this scenario here, right? Mavericks went 3-4 during the season. Auglis went 6-1. Now, Mavericks obviously did have the benefit of playing in our knockout bracket yesterday and getting through to this stage to make sure they come top 4, position they were actually already in our round robin. The problem they are now going to have is that Auglis seem to be on a separate tier to them. I don't know if we see enough Mavericks magic left in that tank to overcome it. It can happen. We have seen, you know, great plays from them. You know, we were very impressed yesterday by Eric Boom. We saw Super do great things. Sucreme, we've seen all this stuff. Same with Vehicle, right? Every single one of these players we've spoken about at length yesterday. But they weren't playing Auglis. They weren't playing Auglis. Auglis looked like they're having a pretty good time of it. Even with that narrow half-point win, I'm sitting here wondering if realistically they can actually take them on this control.
Yeah, I agree. You're absolutely correct. And I think the start of that was just one player popping off. I think it was Eric Boom. So they need a player to just absolutely dominate. And I feel like maybe mentality wise, like the whole other team gets hype and they follow in suit. So realistically, yeah, you're right about that. They didn't play Orglis yesterday. So this is definitely a harder team to do that on, but not impossible.
Well, speculation aside, it's time to find out what is actually going to happen between these two teams. Onto the raid control, on board first of all with Nasty from Auglis, and it's going to be an A hit.
A hit indeed, aggressive from Orglis, and there's a teammate, not good, but Nasty making up for it as he gets a 3-piece already to start. Even with a team kill. So now Orglis already opening up the map. Nasty locking down this A side, and the kitchen push is coming through from two members of Orglis as they work to fight it. Harry staying alive as he gets a huge 2-piece on the Eric and Super now. Orglis already starting off in a dominant fashion.
They really haven't. They're even taking it a little bit casual today. They haven't got it fully locked down, though. Gizmo going towards top bedroom. Knows this will be a key spot for him. Already players go through. Super does get through, but unfortunately gets caught. And Nasty's been sitting here pretty since that first 4 kills of the game. Now, here comes B. 2 minutes 15 to hold it down, and Steelo goes straight in the kitchen for the control.
Already, that's so crazy. Right into kitchen he does, but Eric Boom finally takes him down, and now Mavericks do have a little bit of kitchen control, but Harry is currently still streaking out. He's pushed up already. That poolside ready to waiting, and then you have Nasty in the back. So now 2-3, how can he break this one? Takes down Stevo, solidifying those pool stairs, but still Harry coming on the back, gets Vico, and Sukri gets taken out by Harry, who's still slaying out again. Excuse me, 4-1. He actually did get taken out. 4-1 on a 2 streak. So now this man is just absolutely going crazy. How are they going to break this? Of course, push through kitchen, push through laundry, get the kills, clear him out. Now Maverick spawning on the point, getting that back laundry spot. This is going to be hard for them here to take.
I love the strategy, actually, by August. They recognize as a player top bedroom to decided to push those spawns originally towards basketball and try and punch through the back, feeling confident to take enough gunfights here. And now they flipped it all the way out. You are correct. Just see what they can do with those. Super's going to shut them down. Basketball is gone. And you can see Sukri right at the back there as well. If he wins that gunfight, which he has, it resets all of August's push here. And already, Super gets another kill onto Stevo. August looked like a great position. They managed to break through in the kitchen, get through jungle, into basketball, and then nothing happened. They got completely rebuffed. They do have a 2-life benefit here, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough because this is a horrible play to try and take.
Correct, but the gunfights come in, the trays come in, and Super able to lock down a little bit. No, he gets taken out by Gizmo, so Orglis able to get the kills and win their gunfights, able to push up now through kitchen onto that B site. So now Eric Boom last alive, poolside, Sukri getting that fight again, and no, Orglis just completely wiped them. What looked like it could have been a steal for Mavericks. 26 seconds left to remain. Orglis need this right here, right now, but 4 lives remaining for Mavericks. This is going to be very tough for them as they're just absolutely beaming, and in the back, Harry, Gizmo, everybody's just slaying out and doing what they need to do now. Sukri just last alive. Bracey, this is just looking like it's not going to happen, and Orglis take the first round, and could have been a scary right there at the end, but able to, again, like I said, clean up on those mistakes. They didn't falter.
They certainly did not. I mean, that was very, very impressive from them. Once they lost control of bedroom and the rest of the map, somehow just won every single gunfight, punched straight through into kitchen. But yeah, that was a pretty fast round. And just while we've got a bit of time, actually, I just want to say a shout out to Shaynard and John Prosper, our observers for this series. We do appreciate you bringing us all the best Call of Duty action. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Absolute bests. They are goats. They're goated back there.
They certainly are. And speaking of action, we dive into it one more time already. You can see Mavericks have decided to go for a B hit, and it's working out very well. Vehicle goes straight through. There is a player in money. It's Nasty, who slows down this push, maybe just enough for the rest of the team to get there. Super now diving out of it. And the rest of August come to reinforce. Mavericks going to put their guns up here and try to make a difference, but they are losing trades and have to get out.
Yeah, and the kitchen control is so huge right there as Cole still alive, playing for his life here, but Nasty able to take him down, and Orglis already aggressively pushing up. Gizmo already set up on that poolside, working the flank, working their spawns. Nasty locking down the middle map, takes down Super, and this is just looking like complete control for Orglis. But Mavericks able to win their gunfights. Now that's 2 down for them as they slide onto that A point. Nasty still holding down the mid and still staying alive. Currently on a 6 streak, might I say. Pretty much consistently been going off. Yeah.
Nasty's only died twice. That's ridiculous. Let's see how much he's going to die here. Now, the thing is, there is a good amount of time here for Mavericks to go through this one, and that's artillery. Almost gets the cruise control straight away. He's actually going to end up challenging Super here as well. Finds 1, finds 2. Nasty now on an even bigger streak. That's 9 for him as well as he tries to get out of this one. He knows players are now hunting him, but he's only died 3 times so far in these 2 rounds. And it's certainly roughed a ton of pressure. August currently are pushing Mavericks all the way back. And I don't know, this is looking more and more difficult as time ticks through. Few kills now going in favor of Mavericks. Can they make a move?
Indeed, and it's going to be very tough because now Mavericks, the full team has been wiped. And Harry, I mean, controlling kitchen, Stevo just waiting patiently. Mavericks back against their wall in their spawn as Orgless just locking down everything. And Nasty still going off right now, running in circles on Vehicle. I thought I was getting scared. Hopefully maybe you get that kill, but Super and Vehicle able to clear out that raid side. Makes Orgless to have them spawning in the back, but once again, Stevo and Gizmo pushed up that pool side. Stevo gets taken out, and Super just looking around for a little bit of information as he knows these players spawn in the back. Gets tagged up a little bit, able to stay away from his life, has his teammates pushing through the front. So Mavericks now, they get these kills here. Vico managed to clear out this, never mind, as Orgless yet again with streaks in hand, clear out the point, push Mavericks back again. 28 seconds left on the clock. This is the last push.
Well, it's not gone well for Mavericks at all. They're going to have to regain and probably start thinking about their own defense because this just doesn't look like it's going to come off for them. It would be an incredible play, and they're going to try it here. Eric Boom going to go through as well. Finds one. Beagle got another. They have just enough time to make something work here as they're getting every single kill on the board. And now diving in. They have B control. They have no lives to play with. Nasty's actually going to drop the hammer here. The artillery comes in. They have to use it. Nasty does get one. Gizmo gets another. There's only 2 players left. Nasty's going to go down. It's now Super in a 1 versus 4. And already gets seen and shut down. And it could have been a very different story. The artillery for August, though, ended all dreams.
Yep, that was the last push for Mavericks there, too. And it looked like it could have happened. But, man, when you have Nasty playing like this, I mean, Brycey, he's just absolutely dominating. Ooh, that was close, but I agree with that use of streaks. I mean, essentially, they had a couple players with them. I believe there was one other player, I think, that had a streak. Why not use them? I think we saw it earlier. Elevate had a round like that, and they ended up losing it. But not Orgless. They're coming out strong, pulling off the stops. And now, attacking side, this is going to be pretty scary for Mavericks, especially with their aggression, as Evo already working that A site. Kind of a little bit of a distraction as 3 members of Orgless is pushing towards that B site. So they split the push. 1 player for Mavericks is here. If Nasty can take down this kill, this is going to be very good for Orgless as they can set up and easily take B. Mavericks, how are you going to play this one?
At the moment, they're going to get slain out just a little bit. See the top bedroom pressure coming through. Steve actually backing off a bit to try and hold for his team. He knows the player's up here as well and actually tries to go for a hip fire jump shot. Bit unconventional. And eventually starts to gun Super at the same time. Ridiculous plays coming out from August here. This play has gone on a little bit longer than I thought it would do. They're actually taking A now at the same time. Realistically, Harry would love to get that second tick on the B, but it should be pushed off from them. Somehow he's still alive in money.
Yeah, realistically, I know they want it, but staying alive, getting those kills, and Stevo, it looked like maybe able to get one, but Nasty's still alive in the flank, but no. Orgless get wiped out completely, but they're over there at the A site, so they are going to solidify a little bit more time here. And again, they have a full collapse onto the B point, and Stevo's still doing work in that pool side. He locks it down, but
have not been able to shut down this map control. That's the biggest issue. Because every single time they try to rebuff them, there's always a player from Orgless cutting them to bits.
Yeah. None whatsoever. What? Will we see a reverse sweep? Yeah, will we see a reverse sweep? There's Eric Boom coming alive now on a 4 streak. So this is kind of, they needed that. What they need. But again, Orgless is still already pushed up that laundry side. And Pool and Laundry, as we know, are the 2, I would say, most important points for B.
Very important fights now coming through. They've got to be careful here as well. I think Gizmo in Kitchen is going to have a bit of a surprise with players coming behind him as well. He's eventually going to go down. Nasty trying to do a bit of work in basketball. Eventually takes down Sukri, but he needs reinforcements before he can make a move as Harry ends up killing Stevo. Does get a kill in the end here, but that's not good enough. Orgless have been pushed back once again, and Nasty is in enemy territory. But if you can't get the kills and can't get the support, it doesn't mean anything. Somehow Nasty's already got one for it at the same time. Finds the second. Eventually will go down. There is a gap opening up here for Orgless. And it just feels like every time they get a few kills, it gets rebuffed here. Mavericks holding on and digging deep.
Digging deep indeed. 40 seconds left, and Orgla's still pushing to the front. Super locking down that money room, which we know is so important. The last pitch, it's just both teams just waiting patiently. And that's exactly why the streak's coming from Nasty. Can he connect? Not exactly sure where the player is, but I'm sure he's going to try.
I'd tell you something, Mavericks played that very, very well. Identified that they could get done from money. But however, that's a clean sweep. That's all over. It's all done. They managed to win it there. And pretty much every gunfight went the way. I have to rewatch that last bit as well. Like, everything just kicked off instantly. You saw the retake come in. They dive straight into money for it as well. And you can see it here. That's Harry. Finds 2. Challenging Basketball also 1. I think the last one was mid-stairs. Unbelievable plays. And, well, that's the series. It turns out August are going through into our grand final to take on Elevate again in this one. Ton, we seem to be speedrunning today.
Mate, we're absolutely flying through here. You know how we sometimes complain, oh, it's getting a little bit tired. I'll have time to sit down on the sofa, have a couple of beers after this. We're absolutely flying through the games today. And you know, I think it just further cements what we were saying beforehand, that these two teams, Elevate and August, we've always talked about how close it is in Europe. Yes, it is. There's a little bit of a gap forming between these two and the rest of the teams now. And that becomes apparent. You have to put it in the context that Mavericks fought through to get to this stage, past a couple of different teams, as did Amelia Strays, who went up against Elevate. Same story, both times. 3-0, 3-0. The gap is there. These best two teams in the league by some distance, and we'll figure out who the actual best team is very, very shortly. It should be a banger of a series. Both teams coming in with off the back of a massive 3-0 win. Both will be feeling really nice about it.
They certainly will. Well, before we look forward to our grand final, let's take a little look back and see how it has gone so far. Of course, our very first semi-final, Elevate, dismissed Amelia Strays in a clinical 3-0 themselves, and then, well, history repeats itself. August and Mavericks went the same way, August putting Mavericks to the sword, meaning that so far neither of these two teams today has dropped a map. That is all going to change, of course. Our grand final for our playoff bracket in the European region of Call of Duty Challenges Elite will be Elevate versus August. Two titanic teams. Last time they matched up, August ended up losing to Elevate, but they will be looking to rip that right in just a short while. Gut feeling then, Ellen, who wins?
Well, I'll tell you what, Brycey, I'm going to let the professionals handle it, and I'm going to sit back and I'm going to watch the game and let you guys handle it and just enjoy it. That's exactly how it works. I'm just going to enjoy the game. And I mean, just both teams, they're just so strong. And I was picking out points, just looking at the way that they're playing and their play styles, and very similar from both. I mean, it's just, I think when it comes to this, they're going to pull out all the stops, and maybe we might see some things we haven't seen like before, but either way, they both know how to adapt. So I'm just expecting a really good series, and I'm going to sit back and let you guys handle it and enjoy the show.
I like the cop-out. Don't worry, we'll have more questions for you though, but we are going to take a break before our grand final here on the broadcast, so don't go anywhere. Coming up after the break, Elevate will take on August to find out who is the best team of Stage 4 Challenge Elite. See you in just a few minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Call of Duty Challengers Elite. We are here and ready for the European region's grand final. Only 2 teams remain. Elevate will take on August to find out who wins the lion's share of the prize money and the accolades that go with it. Of course, my name is Bryce. Joining me here for this, Ton and Ellen. Ellen, you kind of avoided this question before the break, so I'll ask you again now that we're not going to a break.
How did I know
Who
that
do you
were
favorite out of these 2 teams? I never forget.
I was gonna hope you were gonna pick Ton here because I was thinking, yeah, Bryce is gonna do it. So both teams essentially been around for a while. Elevate or Orglis? Oh man, Orglis is looking so good.
Look at her trying to sit on the fence. I can see it.
Okay. If I just had to throw one out there, I'm just gonna say Elevate. Just simply for the fact that they've been here
she doesn't
more.
know.
All right. Well, that was the most hard-fought prediction I've ever had out of anybody, but this game is ready to go. Thank you, Ellen. I believe me and Ton are casting this one. Elevate versus August, and we're going straight into checkmate hardpoint.
Oh my goodness me, we had to beat it out of her there, Nelly, didn't we? We got it in the end, though. But yeah, look, I'd feel for her because it's a very hard prediction. These 2 teams have met multiple times. Tweet coming out from Infinity, actually, the majority of the time it has went over towards Elevate. The weekend just gone, though. August, they didn't play against Elevate, as Harry just starts to clean things out immediately, and a good start for August. August winning that Challengers Cup is a big thing, though. They managed to get that win underneath their belt, that practice, that confidence with the new player in that squad in Gizmo will give them confidence going into this series. It's a great start for them as well. They did have rotations over towards P2. They've lost that now, but nonetheless, 27-0 is not a bad start.
That's certainly going to pay dividends for them if they can get it, though. Got to keep an eye out for Denza. Denza has slipped the net. Harry is on fire, but keep an eye on that P2 spawn. I believe he's now being hunted. Nasty is there, and they're not entirely sure. Gizmo, I'm sorry, it's Denza, who's just sitting there, so patient by the back. Keep an eye on the mini-map. And there he goes. Denza now going in for it. Managed to get one at the same time. Fighting for his life here at the back. Unfortunately, the spawn is going against him.
Oh, he should be dead. Oh no, he's going to be able to get away. Does he? No way does he find that kill. The second as well, not going to come, but Hixie will find it. Really well played by Denza. Whilst all that was going on, Harry did get himself an artillery. Before we head over towards P2. But massive from Denza. Holding that down, finding those kills, allowing his team to get there. Just distracting enough. August couldn't get rid of him. Like a bad pest towards the back, but a few kills do come through for the August side. Hixie momentarily was the last alive, all on his own, but managing to survive. The rest of the team spawning here. It's a good answer back, if you like, from Elevate after a poor start.
Yeah, you got to say there, realistically, obviously Denza may have given up some time on that P1, considering he left his team short-handed, but it pays off in the end, and they will go ever so slightly into the lead, but it might as well be called... Oh, no, they get off it as well, so they don't even go into the lead, but now we're fighting over P3, and Elevate seem to have shifted gears just a bit and are now fighting back against the August, who look so dominant on P1. Hixie already trying to hit these spawns and rotate around.
Yeah, he's done really well. He rotates around and makes sure that they do get these spawns, heading more over towards P4. That's where you want to be fighting from, and of course you want that P4 spawn as well. Good spot for Elevate to be in here. Keep an eye on Gizmo, though. Floating in and around behind, just trying to find things where he can. There's one onto Vince, the second onto Denza as well. That's 4 clean dead. For the side of Elevate, August played that one well. And all that good work that Elevate did to try and get a hold of those spawns is very, very quickly wiped out. But they answer back themselves. Bids, wee man. It's really going to be about the battle between the ARs here. The Krieg's really in full force across the board. And that's where this game is going to be won and lost. Rotation over towards P4, though, does belong to August as we go into the scrap time of P3. And really, we expect it to be this close all the way through. Initial kills go over towards Elevate. August have work to do.
Well, you can see now, again, both of these two teams, they've played each other so often. And they're just fighting back so much. This time, Elevate turn that kill feed all red. And the most important thing is not only do they have this, but the opportunity to hold the spawn. You can already see August not heading straight towards it. Something you can learn from league players. Don't throw yourself mindlessly at that hill, wherever it may be.
Done well so far. Oh my god, Gizmo! The snap in and the new man on the roster getting it done so far. 7 and 9, but that's 2 really, really big kills. The flank around the outside as well. Are they expecting him to be there? Bids is the next one on the chopping block potentially here. If they can get rid of Bids towards the back, they're in a good spot to lock this one in. Bids falls, and this rotation over towards P5 looks a lot better for August than it does for Elevate. Gizmo now towards the back. Is he going to expect Hixie there? He isn't, and Hixie just, and I mean just about wins that gunfight. A big one for Elevate to get a hold of, but it's been blow after blow in both directions. Nobody able to seemingly get a hold of a good chunk of a lead. It's been back and forth all the way through.
There's just so much talent stacked on both these rosters, combined with the fact that obviously very familiar with each other's playstyle and the breaks and everything coming through. Harry now ain't going to drop that artillery straight into the middle of the map, trying to break them off here. And you are right, Ton. Just every time you think somebody's about to get further ahead, a break comes through as well, though. Bids is going to take down Nasty on the plane, but it will be August who now have control of Wood Hill. And with the time remaining, I think they're going to probably just try and give it up and get plane secured.
Possibly. They might have a little stab at it here. Denza making a push over towards front wood. And of course, the area of the hill is very, very big. And then in that scenario, he can just get in there, cause some issues. Nixie finding the bullet from the left-hand side of plane. Now we will be thinking about this rotation up towards P1. And of course, up towards the back spawn for P2. Gizmo breaks through, finds one at Denza. Is the rest of the team going to be there to trade things out here as well? Nasty shooting through, not quite finding it. Slow push here from August. Elevator dug in deep.
Cannibals have gone all the way through a set of rotations and neck and neck at the moment. Neither team giving up even an inch between each other. Gizmo though going to fire through the plane. Will get a few more points on the board. His teammates are going to go down though. Bids comes to challenge, and just like that, Elevate take back control of the plane. This time around though, it will be Elevate in control of P2 from the off. This is something August are going to have to deal with. It's an opportunity for Elevate to put some daylight between these two teams.
Finds 3 inside the plane, and that's an opportunity maybe for August to get themselves forward. Look at the spawn outs coming in from Elevate. These fights towards the back are massive. That's a really big kill out of Hixie. Needs to just try and stay alive. Look at how you notice how he just moves backwards, puts himself out of the firing line, allows the rest of Elevate to come through from the mid-map, and it just wastes that time. He knows they're going to be hunting for him. He knows they need to find him before they break through August. Plays that perfectly. Hixie surviving, still going as well towards the back. 2 kills in a row for him. Harry and Gizmo finding kills though. Hixie will answer back with 1. Can't find much else than that, and Wee Man all of a sudden is left all alone. Is going to find one. The Elevate guys on his team spawn out as well. So August breakthrough eventually. It could have been maybe a little bit sooner though.
Yeah, certainly could, but still, having P2 is better than not having P2.
Oh, yeah.
At the moment here, they're going to try and just rebuff this pressure. Unfortunately, they've lost a lot of map control here. Gizmo going to have to stay alive. Harry looking through the eye of a needle, but his teammates will get it before he gets any pressure come forward. He's flying out for it as well. Harry finds 2. And now he's going to be looking to rotate out to P3, allowing his teammates a little bit of a gap. Sees Weeman at the top, sees Bids. Bids, though, will win that crit battle eventually. But it's still going to be Elevate in control of this P3. Whether or not that stays when August get a chance to move out of spawn.
It's going to be a hard breakthrough, but the plan has got to be the route. Stavo being the route man at the moment. He's going to manage to make his way through. We'll find one, surely. Not going to get traded either. Is he going to find Hixie? Not quite. Just a small dent in the hole that Elevate did have. August here, you're probably trying to push down the right-hand side, more over to where AS and D is. Next hill is going to be spawning up with P4 as well. That's where you want to be making your moves, but the gunfights are going to go in their favor. That's 3, 4 without answer. It's just been the same story all the way through. It seems to be a flurry of kills, left, right, and center for both teams. Nobody able to seemingly get a good grip of this game. And it's what we expected. Yes, August have a very slight lead, but my goodness me, Elevate very much still in this one.
Doing a good job here at the moment. You can see Nasty trying to stay alive for his teammates here as well. And oh my goodness, the things these players can do with an AKU is out of this world. Nasty though, waiting for reinforcements, has nobody with him, doesn't really matter. Goes for the 1, looks for the 2nd, and Denza somehow wins that gunfight. But incoming reinforcements, August fly into this one as well. They know that being in the lead here is going to be huge for them as Stevo picks up 2, and more points come through. Stevo picks up 3, Harry picks up another 1. And while they don't have the spawns for next, they will be happy to get another 40 seconds on this if possible.
It's actually coming down the SMGs inside the hills where things are really being made the difference. It seems as if Elevate are winning these transitional battles for the most part, but August are breaking through relatively easily just through the front line. You're looking at Stevo and Harry really causing issues at Nasty mostly, I should say, on the other SMG, but to see Stevo and Nasty putting up 23 and 24 respectively spells danger for Elevate. On the other side, Denza 21 and 26. You maybe need to see just a little bit more out of him. It's a 60-point game. August in a good spot as well. Look at these rotations over towards P5. This one could be over sooner rather than later.
Well, this is where it gets hard for Elevate. They have to make this move correctly. There are spawns coming out from August, so a big kill here from Hixie should help them in this scenario. There's Weeman getting another one at the same time. They will have the spawns here. Gizmo out towards the back, but they are outnumbered. Will they be outgunned? Steve already gets one onto the hill here. Gizmo versus Hixie, and it will be Gizmo somehow. He stays alive. The rest of August now coming from reinforcements. He's going to reach out. He gets that kill again. This is outrageous from August.
Yeah, that was massive from Gizmo, finding those 2 kills towards the back. That could have been a good chunk of time for Elevate if it wasn't for that. Stevo won at the front. Elevate are really having to fight every single fight like it's the last one that they possibly could in this game. Back and forth we go, and it just feels like Elevate are now on the back foot that little bit now. Caught up just a tad as we head over towards P1 in 10 seconds, but August have kept them off it. It looked pretty bad as the rotation came through. Elevate broke through nicely, and, well, they're doing the same here on P1. August buffed that away. Can they do the same here again on P1?
Last time around, it was a bloodbath. Both teams able to continue to fly into it as well here, but Denza does win that one, and now pre-firing the wall. All wall banging all the time here in P1 on Checkmate. And it does seem that both teams will now just try and contest. The problem being is, of course, that August have that P2 spawn at the moment. Both teams going to come to blows here. Denza's sitting pretty in the corner. His teammates have flown in. They clean plane. And now they're going to be thinking, how do we rotate? How do we get through this P2 here without giving it up?
The thing is here, if they pick up every other point on P1, they'll be in the lead heading over towards P2 as well. Weeman trying to get rid of Nasty, who's found another kill. Where these kills going to go? Look at towards the spawns, though. It's only Harry left alive. He needs to stay alive towards this back spawn. And most of this time is went over towards Elevate. Harry really needs to be that anchor for August right now. He needs to stay alive. The gunfight comes through. He backs out of it. The rest of his team on his way over now as well. Stevo to the rescue. He'll find the kill into bids. August lock the spawns in and control the P2. Nasty spawns out, but so do Elevate crucially. This one's in the balance here, Bryce. It could go either way.
It is, however, Nasty coming from the back. He's going to fight 2 as well, but they will have players spawn out. And now it's a race. Both teams going to fly through. Denza gets another one. That's Nasty throwing a nade close, but Elevate will now rip it away from them as well. Gizmo has to dive in for it at the same time. He gets the shot punch, but Denza goes for it. Stevo's here at the same time. Both teams throwing everything at this one now. Denza still firing, still trying to keep this one. August now have to force the front door. I don't even know if it's possible. Stevo has somehow stayed alive and got a 2-piece, but I don't know if it's enough. The rest of them go down, and Elevate snatch victory away on a ridiculous hill there. How on earth did that keep going?
Well, what a game number 1, and how it kept going is Denza on a 6 or 7 spree towards the end is what did it. Finding the kills at the front, and Weeman was just locking it down. The angles on the cross, he just had them every single time and just stops the flow of players coming through from August. Very well played to Elevate. They forced that spawn towards the back by just constantly forcing through the front door. August then have to answer back in that same respect and cannot get through because the angle's been cut off by Weeman. I mean, what a game number 1. If the rest of the map's going to play out like that, we are in for a hell of a series here, Brycey.
We really are. I almost run out of breath there. It's only 10 years of casting experience allowed me to keep going, but you can see how ridiculous this ended up being. All the way through, it was pretty much neck and neck between these two teams as this hill pops. Some massive gunfights coming through. For a good portion of time, I thought August had this, but they lost some key gunfights, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, look, towards the spawn right now, it's looking okay for August, but that's when they find these next couple of kills. Nasty coming around from behind was great, but it was number 2 who made the move there towards the back. That's going to be Hixie. He wraps around the backside, and then you can see the rest of Elevate start to spawn towards the back. So he's made that decision to push forward. Then you can see Denza's found 6 kills on this transition, by the way. I think he may well have found a 7th, but if not, the damage is already done. And shout out to Hixie for pushing that forward. And when he does, you can see his team spawn out towards the back. Oglis going away, and it's just constant kills from Weeman, constant kills at the front. That make things so difficult for Oglis to push through. They'll feel like that was their map to lose there, because I felt that they were in control the majority of the second half of the game. But when that transition over towards P2 gets lost immediately, that's when things look a little bit scary. Yes, okay, it changed hands a couple of times, but we know how swingy this map can be, and it was, what, 50 or 60 point difference before heading over towards that final rotation of hills. Elevate, get it done. They lock it in when they need to. They lock in map number 1 and a lead in this grand finals, and well deserved. They fought themselves back.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of crazy, just the amount of big plays that go forward there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Let's take a look at the maps, though, for this series, of course. And this is how it's going to play out. So we start with the match we just saw. Checkmate, Hardpoint. We go now on to Search and Destroy Moscow. And then we're going to raid as we control Hardpoint, Search and Destroy. It's a triple raid to end it if we get that far, Ton.
I'm all right with it. I'm absolutely fine with it.
I love raid.
I don't think we go in this... it's the best game on the map. Best game on the map? You know what I mean. Best map on the game. It's just every single game mode. I mean, look, how often do we talk about it? The fact that it was a phenomenal Hardpoint map and a phenomenal Search and Destroy map back in Black Ops 2. It wasn't remotely made for Control, yet it's the best Control map on the game. It just speaks volumes to the designers who made Raid, basically. Fantastic work from them. A solid map, and it's fantastic to see it in a rotation. But before we do get there, we've got Moscow to deal with first.
We certainly do. On board with Hixie straight away, and that is a fast start, by the way. You can see the momentum for Elevate. Then we'll probably want to keep on moving forward. But at the moment, just a bit of a split and pick. Looking for information on this side. Hixie does have bomb, but they're not making any significant strides towards the site, Ton.
Not quite. It's a delayed push going to come on through. Kind of letting Oglis set up and Elevate on feel their way through it. I like how Elevate play this map, though. They're very patient. They kind of, as said, they gain the information, they download it, they sort of assess the situation, then they make their move, and well, their move is going to be clean enough. Plan down a B, it's going to be a 4v4 retake. Oglis are already here, though. As soon as that bomb goes down, the gunfights are going to start coming. Harry with the first one, and Weeman. Bits is going to fall as well. 2v4. I think then a 1v4. Not looking necessarily too great here for Denza. Inside the bedroom should be the deadest man on the planet. Finds one, and there is the round. Oglis, first blood.
Oh. It's a curious one, because that
good
ended
break.
up pretty much just going Oglis's way. Elevate clearly had a strategy off the rip there, Ton, and were pretty much unable to execute it the way they wanted to.
I mean, I don't hate it. Look, they had 4 clean members up. No shots go in. They've got a little bit of information that Oglis are all over towards A, but they just lose their gunfight. It's that break that comes through. As soon as the first one falls, the pressure's on, and then immediately a second falls soon after. You're in an even worse spot, obviously. So, yeah, look, I didn't mind the push from Elevate. They just lose their gunfights, unfortunately.
Well, let's see if they can redeem themselves here. They have defense this time around. Oglis on the attack, and keep an eye on that mini-map as well. You can see they are going for a very similar strategy, actually.
Yep.
Not being too aggressive.
Yep, information out. There's no point in committing to a bomb site if the other team don't. Look, it's obviously mostly A on the defensive side of things is where you send your team, but you can transition so quickly over towards B. What's the point in Oglis rushing anything? Because things can change so quickly on the defensive side. You can send forward to B and very easily transition over towards A. It's not necessarily difficult to do. So, Oglis, well, pretty much identical strategy, but the difference is here, they've left Harry on an island. Now, the question is here, which way to Elevate rotate through? I doubt they go all the way through spawn, so we need to watch Harry here, but see if he's going to actually see anything on the transition. You can see number 8 there, you go, finds one on the pick. That creates such a bad situation for Elevate now, because they've got to find him, and they can't find much else but more bullets from his gun. Perfectly played from Oglis. It's a 1 versus 3. It's 2-0 to Oglis.
Wow, so far, Oglis looking to redeem himself from that hard point. And it does end up playing out very well for them. And you've got to ask yourself, Harry shooting like this, by the way, I don't think Speeds gets a shot on him.
Oh, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he is. He is pretty good. You can see, though, this time around, I wonder if Elevate are going to try and change things up here, maybe be a bit more aggressive. You can already see several of the players looking towards Street, potentially a B push from them.
That's a big Street hit, isn't it? As Oglis have really committed over towards it. Bit's going to back him down and back the team up, and that's maybe the difference in this transition. Harry was confident enough to sort of sit back there. Bit says to himself, well, okay, well, I'd rather be with my team here. Whether that be for the right reasons, I feel as if Steve was spotting him there. I think he spotted him just about crossing over. And then we go, Oglis going to come around. Same old story though. Bomb's going to go down at B, but can Elevate defend it this time?
Well, they're certainly going to try. Three men already on the street. That's a big kill from him. Good positioning as well. But here comes Stevo. He's left on the gap. Clear for Stevo. Almost gets two. Wee Man redeemed himself a bit here. And Stevo finds himself alone after making a very ambitious break for it. One time finds Wee Man, but it's not going to be enough. Double Chow comes through and Elevate get one onto the board, but it could have been so much worse.
I mean, I feel for Wee Man here because he has to step away for a second. There's a few players challenge him. He has to back off there. And that's when Stevo breaks through, finds the one, but can't find the second. I think if he finds that second kill there, they can maybe slow it down for the push for Wee Man, but nonetheless finds his gunfights in the end. Two on the outside is a real big deal when it comes to defending that B bomb site. So an attacking round under their belts here for Elevate. Nicely done. We're going to see the same old story. It's been a B hit 3 times out of 3 so far.
Okay, well, at the moment, Oglis not going for that initial rush. You can see Stevo actually just keeping an eye out here towards Courtyard. Nothing too much happening. Well, I think it's going to help kind of rebuff any pressure from Street here, but the problem is look how close they're all stacked here. Nasty takes a few shots. Dender actually ends up coming through and does take down Nasty, and now they're going to go for this one again. Brings it back to a 3v3, but they have to reevaluate their push completely.
I like that. Wee Man's kind of the bait up on Plat, and all of a sudden Denzer is there to quickly jump around the corner. Nasty would not have expected him there. He falls 0-3 out of him, and that can sometimes be one of those where you're sitting there, yeah, 0-3, yes, okay, you're up, but starts to get you starting to maybe reach for kills, and well, Gizmo is going to quite happily reach for that one. Bids gets his angles blown off, and all of a sudden it is a 2v3. Wee Man finds one, gets out as well. 2v2. Look at the transition from Hixie. Oh, Wee Man wins the gunfight. 1v1.
He's laid down. It should be advantage to him, and Wee Man will get it. Elevate. Bring this back to a tied game. You're going to ask yourself, just how are these two teams going to adapt? And that's the thing I always find fascinating about high-level S&D like this, Ton, is a lot of these players and teams know each other so well. So the initial breaks aren't always as important because they've basically seen everything they're going to see from the other team.
I think it's all about kind of keeping yourselves together as a team and then trusting in your ability to break back in high-level situations in terms of what it could be 4v4, 4v3, 3v3. None of these easy breaks back with late bomb plants. The bomb goes down fairly cleanly on both sides of things. And again, look, Oglis fully committed over towards it. Elevate wait to gain the information. Utility's going to come in, so they're going to get a good idea. This time, though, Oglis are getting very, very aggressive. Don't know if Bids is aware that somebody's directly on the left-hand side. They have dropped back to wall, though, but look at this transition for the bomb. Hixie making his way over towards B. This time around, though, Harry's maybe that little bit closer. Did they see him up top? They did.
And now you can already see them swinging into position, though. This is going to be a big chow towards the back here. Big fight already going down. They know Harry's here. And eventually, Wee Man will take him down. B open up once again, and it will be Oglis who try desperately to get in the position they need to be. But here comes a challenge. Gizmo may try and wide peek this as soon as it goes down. He's gone for it. Has got out with his life, but Stevo comes through. Somehow not able to get that second one, but it does leave Bids in a 1 versus 2. Bids has bombed down, and now he's got to play the game of when on earth do I get in there and check this bomb. He's already found Nasty out by the street. It's a 1 versus 2. He goes and finds Gizmo. Gizmo has the better opportunity. He had more life. And now they will get this one. It could have gone either way, though, Ton.
Yeah, very, very close. Gizmo really putting it all on the table here. 7-3 out of him. It's a well played on the 2v1 situation. As soon as Nasty sees him, he calls him out. Yes, he loses the gunfight, but it puts Gizmo in the position to try and get the trade as best as he possibly can, and finds the shots. And well, Hixie gets the best play here, but I think that's the break when Stevo comes through. Then Gizmo can trade. Then everything kind of falls into place. Search and destroy. It's like dominoes falling, isn't it? It kind of can just go in that direction, and once one member falls, it's quite easy to clean up the rest because you're always looking for each other. It's all about communicating who's going to go in, who's going to go out. It's very well played from Oglis. I mean, both these teams looking really, really good now. It could be a 3-0 to Elevate. It could be a 3-2 to Oglis. It's so close every round.
And here we go, though. Will be Oglis to take mid-map control? It's an escalator push. They're going up. I think it's been seen as well. Gizmo's actually going to back off here, but they're going for it straight away. Steve will already get that first pick. Nasty gets one as well. There is a player left here, actually. It's going to be Hixie. Hixie being super patient. None of them have seen him. And he's going to try and hit a flank. Unfortunately, he's going to get shut down. Super patient, but unfortunately, when all your teammates end up dying, there's not an awful lot you can do.
I mean, it's the right play there. Two members fall around you. You kind of sort of say, right, well, I can't just take them in a gunfight 1v1v1. Kind of have to go with the element of surprise. I think if Denza survives there, it's definitely a plausible play, but unfortunate that there's not really much that Dixie could have done. 4-2 now to Oglis. Really starting to accelerate away a little bit, but they did so in the hard point as well, Bryce.
Yeah. Well, let's see whether or not Elevate can do it again and make some magic happen. On the attack this time around, Bid's doing that familiar jump we all know. Keep an eye on the A-bomb site, anyone pushing. And this is an A-stack from August here at the moment. Bid is going to eventually back off with his teammates. And there's actually a rotation coming in from August now because they haven't seen any pressure come forward. So they're worried about B again. And for good reason, it's been hit so many times. But Elevate probably don't know the distribution of August here. So it is both teams fighting in the dark.
Yeah, it's a much harder 4v4 retake at A than it is at B. This bomb's going to go down. Oh, they're not sure, Elevate, and that's going to give Oglis time. The right to be hesitant, though. Information now being gathered by Oglis. Are they all going to push from one direction here, though? All going towards the back. Still, the bomb is not down, and what is this firefight going to be? Wee Man, Hixie find the first two. Nasty and Harry answer back 2v2 now. 1v1 all of a sudden. It just bursts into life, and well, it has to be advantage Oglis. They don't have to plant the bomb. Elevate do.
And Bid has to make a decision here. At what point do I cut and run? Nasty still floating back and forth. It's still this 1v1. And Bid thinks he's coming escalators, but isn't sure himself. And now they're about to find each other, Nasty and Bids, and it will be Bids already who has the better pre-aim. Nasty goes for the jump shot. It's not going to work out. Elevate get another one on the board.
That's just a 50-50 when it comes down to that one. Look at this, how it just burst into life, didn't it? Both teams head on. I think, did he find the kill on the Harry there? Some bullets eventually making their way through, but nonetheless, this has been crazy so far. That was a very long switching sides. I was very curious whether we lost the game there.
Wow. This is almost a little bit like chess. Each team trying to counterplay and figure out what the other team is doing. And August now, again, this same setup. Keeping an eye, trying to figure it out. I think Harry saw some players. I'm not entirely sure what he did see. But enough that a call has been made. They are now going to be here. Elevate may do a long wrap. Harry turns away. Maybe an unopportune moment. He sends some players. And now they're running for it. It's off to the races as both teams are rotating around the map after each other. Who's going to get caught out first?
Oh, what a shot.
I honestly don't know how this is going to go down here. Both teams are just playing for position. Elevate have taken mid-map control, but B has now been planted.
I mean, the fact that Stevo is where he is kind of gives you an indication, but they probably wouldn't have expected the wrap round through A. As time ticks on, though, will Stevo start to cotton on? No, he won't. Shot in the back, but he'll be calling that out. 2v3. Oglis know where they are. Well, it's not going to seem to matter. Gizmo now 1v3. Can't even find one, and Elevate tie things up. 4-4. You've got no clue which way this game is going round to round. Map to map. Elevate tying things up, though. They were 4-2 down. 4-4 now. Only a few more rounds to go.
Wow. It's interesting. Neither of these two teams, really, you could say, has been dominant on this map. It did seem like Augs were having the better time of it, but Elevate fighting their way from behind. I don't know, Ton. I don't know. This is such a big map for Elevate if they can take it, though. 2-0 in the lead if they get it. That's certainly given them the mental advantage over Auglus, who they've already beaten once in this stage. Can they make it happen?
Yeah, both teams very, very good at raid control as well, though, so that one could really go either way, but it's super important, might be very right.
Here you can see again. Auglus, a bit of a stack towards A here. They've gone a little bit less aggressive on it, and now the rotation comes in once again. Somebody has called this one out. Steve-O will be the first person who sees anybody, and he sees Denza. Denza gets caught. And Elevate, now down a man, no map control, are going to have to try and think about rotating back to A here, maybe, and trying to get control. They're going to be worried, though. The problem is I feel like they're going to slow this push down because they don't know who's here, and they don't have the numbers.
Just to bear in mind as we continue here in round number 9, last time actually these two teams did play on raid control. It was an Elevate 3-1. Last time they played Moscow Search and Destroy, 6-2 Auglus. Auglus, it feels like this is a must-win for them.
Down, Steve-O might find Hixie here, and he has found him as well. And almost fails that shot, but somehow they managed to get away. And that bomb that does go down as well. Fight's going through at the same time. You can already see it's now going to be massively outnumbered, and it turns out massively outgunned. Auglus will go into the lead here on the Search and Destroy.
Harry, man. And the issue is when they find that first blood, they can just kind of converge around in two different directions, can't they? It makes things so much easier on the retake. Elevate know this, they have to push in one direction, they do that. But it's just slightly too late. Look at these shots. 5-4.
Wow. It's certainly tense. Elevate behind again. Let's see.
This is the longest time possible between rounds, I think. It's actually allowing me to have a breather, in fairness.
It does feel longer.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Probably because of just how intense the gameplay actually is at the moment. Well, at least it allows us to catch our breath, I suppose. But here we go. Auglus on the attack. If they can win this, they will bring it back to 1-1 in this series. Again, similar strategy. Same layout, same distribution of players. It's a safe and cautious approach.
I don't know how safe and cautious 3 in mid is, like.
Well, it gives them some map control, but unfortunately no bomb site control.
Look at this from Elevate. There is not a hope in hell that Auglus see this one coming. They did this against Amelia Estrays, though. They fully 4-man flanked all the way over towards A. In which side of the path? Look, Steve-O's aware. He's heard somebody. He could find anything here. He's seen a couple of them, though, so the information is there.
Oh,
Auglus in a 3v4. Oh, my word. Shots need to be good here from Auglus. Weeman's the first to fall.
It's a bit of a trade going through.
Bryce, it's tense. Yeah, it's tense.
Harry, look at this play. He's like from the outside. It's not going to be enough. It's a 1v1.
1v1.
Nasty and Denza. And he's gone straight for it. I don't think he can get to it. Denza is going to win this one from a ninja defuse.
That's the round.
And that's it. Nasty just won't get there in time. He made the bold play. He went for it. But sometimes it's better to just jump on. 5-5. We're going round 11.
It is. I mean, look, how many times do we say it? There's so many opportunities for players to jump the bomb early. You don't want to check it. You don't want to potentially give anything away. Nasty does the right thing by wrapping. But Denza kind of predicts that, and all of a sudden, it's round number 11.
Wow. What can we expect? I honestly don't know. Elevate, though, will be on attack this time. Currently, looking through the eyes of Weeman.
It's a huge round for Auglus.
Aggressive defense, actually, from Auglus. Look at the control they've taken away. Now he's coming through. No information there, I don't think.
I don't know. I think I might have hit him. He had the red arrow pointing in the direction, so... Possibly. But would they know there's two over towards statue? Elevate yet to get a decision. Oh, just about got away.
See if we're going to try and go through. He finds one. It gets back to a 3 versus 3. They don't know where to go here. They have no idea where August have set up. This next gunfight could be huge. Bids and Harry on street. August are Elevate are burning time though. This slow, methodical push. He's burning so much time. Harry's
going to
be
get caught out.
And now Elevate have the advantage, but they have to get straight into this bomb site and think about not only clearing it, but getting it down. August will know now that the commitment is going to come through. Nasty right at the back there. He's been positioned so he can't get away. His teammates trying to back him up here. Who is that? Gizmo.
Look at the time. Look at the time. Look at the time. Gizmo, just get out if you're nasty. Nasty, you got to run.
The clutch plays. It's enough. August have managed to win that one. They were down players. They had the opportunity, and Gizmo breaks in, takes down Bids, takes down Hixie, and all they've got to do is get away then. I have not seen a round like that in quite some time.
Oh, I'm stressed.
I'm stressed. It's 1-1 between those two now.
I mean, and the problem was for Elevate that, like, I don't want to call them out, but they got a bit nervous. They needed to move so much quicker. Like, there was 3 of them still staring nasty when there was 13 seconds to go. You argue the grenade, well, how is that not hurt him maybe a little bit more? They couldn't get rid of him. He stays alive, and they're like, we kind of need to plant this bomb. Gizmo's sitting in bedroom. He's quite happily chilling. Makes the kill on the bomb carrier. That's the round. Nasty's out, and he's gone. That's it. What a game of Surge that was, by the way. I mean, how back and forth was that?
Oh, I don't even know. I didn't even know how to break that one down. I genuinely don't. It was so back and forth between the two teams. Elevate fought from behind to bring that to 5-5. And I mean, how do you explain like that last round? Gizmo managing to get into a position where he could challenge Bomb is insanity. Genuine insanity. There we go again. There's that last kill. Gizmo. And then Nasty just has to run away. By the way, Nasty was pinned back street at one point.
Look how close it is to the bomb being gone down. Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Yeah, he was pinned down. I'm not quite sure how he survived. I thought he was dead to rights. Honestly, I thought it was done and dusted. This could literally be one apiece, but either team could have won either of the maps. That was crazy. And look, we talked about it before the series, how close these two teams seemingly are at this moment in time. Elevate have consistently performed well. Oglis seem to be on this uptick with Gizmo eventually, you know, they're getting things, I don't want to say right, but they're getting that practice under their belt with a new member of the team. Josh got dropped out, of course, for Gizmo not too early before the season started. So they had to have that time to adapt and develop the team with him in it, and it, well, works out perfectly because he actually clutches up massively around 11 there. If they lose that round, they're in such a bad spot then. As it goes, we head into the control, we're one apiece, and this could still go either way. I think if Elevate win that's game. But the fact of the matter is that it's not. It's one apiece now, and raid control coming up. Both teams very good at this one. As mentioned, Elevate won this map last time round, so bear that in mind as we head into it. But who bloody knows at this point, honestly. I haven't got a clue.
At the very least, they'll be looking to try and redeem themselves after that last one. But we did say this grand final was going to be tight between these two titans of Challengers Elite. And take a look at the map so far. 250 to 237. Could have gone the other way itself, ton. And same thing with the Search and Destroy. 6-5, a 1v1 at the end, but just not enough time to get it done. And it will be Auglis who walk away that time around. Going on a raid control, this will probably be a 3-2 just to see how it comes down. But honestly, like I said before, right? We talk about these two teams. They know each other very well. They know their strategies. They're stacked with talent in Europe. There shouldn't be a lot of daylight between them, and there currently isn't.
There really isn't. I mean, look, the hard point comes down to what, 15, 20 points. It's all about that final rotation, basically. The round of S&D comes down technically to 1v1. So many of the rounds did as well. They're so evenly matched in every single game mode. And could Control be the swing, though? It has to be said. I mean, we're staying on Raid, for the next 3 maps. So, I mean, I'm more than happy for that because Hardpoint and Raid is fantastic. Control is arguably the best Control map, and S&D is always a little bit wild. I think we'd be very rude not to have a map number 5 here. I think it would be wrong of the players not to force that to happen, to be honest with you. Not that I condone match fixing in any way, shape, or form, of course, but please just give me a map number 5 and I'll be happy.
Well, we'll see whether or not it happens, but we are going to kick off our raid trifecta on Control and find out who does come on top between these two teams. Jumping straight onto the sticks with Nasty from August.
See how these opening breaks are going to go. Nasty with some good shots in. Maybe he's going to suffer here a little bit. Gizmo just trying to get things locked in here at A for Oglis. It's a good start to the round. Not really going to get a great deal of control, though. Bids from the middle is going to be the one to slow things down, but it looks like Oglis have actually transitioned their efforts over towards B.
Well, at the moment, you can see Hixie trying to make a bit of a push through, and he finds Gizmo, but a little bit hesitant on the shot there, and Gizmo has just picked up 2. That is huge for them. And now I wonder whether or not Elevate can do anything here, but slow this down.
Yeah, that's going up very, very quickly. Nasty 2 kills in the middle. B's gone.
Wow.
That is huge from August to kick things off. Well played Tenzer and Hixie, though. They'll clear them out because what you don't want is them pushing through jungle behind you. I say that as Steve somewhat slipped the net here. I mean, look at Augus's positioning on the map here. They've got 3 different angles to come in on Elevate who are trying to defend A. This is going to be a clean light through for Augus. that should be round. Look at the transition, though. They're just so smart to come from different angles. They know Steve-O's at the back. Let's push through mid. Unless Elevate can just win fight after firefight. That is the cleanest attacking round of Control and Raid I've seen in my life. My God.
I don't know how to put that one. So while we're doing that, we'll shout out our observing team, of course. Shaynard and John Prosper will be directing the camera. So all the action, they basically direct our eyes. We're just the voices that bring it. So thank you so much to the pair of them. But that round 1 was ridiculous ton. They only died 6 times, August.
I mean, I don't think Elevate died that many more times either, to be honest with you. I mean, it was just a case of winning a couple of clean gunfights. And
Nasty didn't die.
Yeah, that's pretty big. I mean, the fact that he has that artillery as well is huge in the grand scheme of things for Oglis. To combine, what, 13 spree the side of Oglis. That is as comfortable as an attacking round on Raid Control you're ever likely to see. But they've got to defend now.
And Elevate looking to redeem themselves probably a little bit here. And if they can get an early first A, they certainly can do that here. But they are going to try and fly in Auglis and take it away. I think, though, they give it up at this point. They don't really have the bodies for it. And B is much more viable to defend.
Good start for Elevate, though. I mean, you take that one. Absolutely. Let's see how the transition works. Well, it's been working out quite well so far. Steve towards the back is going to be a nuisance, though. Even if he finds that kill and backs down, it's just such an annoying position for him to be in. The good fights come through mid. Look at those shots from Denza, though. I think only his 2nd kill of the game so far, and we're in round number 2, but it could be an important one. Can he keep it going? It's a bit of bad timing there on Gizmo. He's going to fall. And Oglis just about keep a hold. But look at their positioning once again. Look how high up on Mansion side they are. Makes it so difficult to get too much time, so much open ground in that area. And then something else you have to think about if you're Elevate is the streaks that are going to come out of Nasty as well. Steve was on his way also. 4 in a row for him. The map's kind of split in the wrong direction here, Bryce.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird one, but P5 for Steve-O. Certainly going to be able to just shut down a lot of pressure for his team. And now August throwing up that defensive wall, not allowing Elevate to move very much. That time continues to go down. Somehow Steve-O makes that and gets away with it. He's going to actually come through pillars. Steve-O.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
He's dying since round 1.
Yeah, we were highlighting Nasty for not dying. He's died 3 times this round alone. Steve-O hasn't. One more push. This should be a double chow when they come through. He's got teammates with it as well, but no, Steve-O tries to take the initiative. Is going to eventually go down. A little bit of a gap here now for Elevate. They try and take P5 control. It will be Hixie to go in the kitchen. As he cleans house, Harry and Steve-O are at that window.
Good luck. And what Ogres do great, I mean, the fact that Steve-O dies in mid-map, there's not a lot of action going on over towards pool side, so Ogres just move up towards mansion. And then you can defend from there. You can shut down the push coming from there. You can defend very well from there. It's an awkward place to get rid of people. Ogres playing this one so flawlessly at this moment in time. Elevate. I mean, what's the play? You kind of have to really wrap through mansion and try and get rid of them, or just try and find a break towards the back to force those players out. They can't do either. 10 seconds remaining. That's the round. This is... If you want a playbook of how to play raid control, Oglis are writing it before our eyes. My goodness.
Well, this map may be over very quickly, depending on how this attack goes. Last time around, Oglis blew Elevate out of the water. And this time they have streaks. I don't know. This seems a complete reversal of fortune.
What's the plan, Elevate? I mean, look, they're on the defense now. That makes it 2-1. You could argue we definitely expect Elevate to find something, but at this moment in time, they have a combined 20 kills between them. I mean, Gizmo has 2/3 of that. Steve was 12-2. What?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive. Here we go, though. Oglis aren't getting it all their own way this time around on the attack. Steve-O trying to hold down Laundry. Will take down Wee Man, and that will slowly but surely tick up A here, but A is not the important one, unfortunately. It is B that the big fight's going around, and can be very, very difficult to break through here. Steve-O, they're going to try and make this one to Hixie. This advantageous fight. Already going to see a player close as well. Surely not. He had very little health for that one. And now Harry getting 2 into the middle. Or still haven't actually got A here, so we've got to wait for teammate. Harry, how on earth?
I think one of them was accidental, to be honest with you. Go and give him the fourth as well. Not quite. Denza should get traded. I think one of them was just through the wall accidentally, and here we are now. Oglis in a really nice spot to close this out. Look at number 6, though. That's going to be Bids. He's going to cause issues. Well, one of those issues is that Harry struggle to get out of spawn. Wee Man finds one. Can he find a second as well? Steve-O, is he going to get traded? Surely, my God, how is he surviving? But there you go. Hixie from behind through money. That's going to be clean house for Elevate. Oglis now in a rough spot. They have to fight from the back.
Oh, you see Hixie already trying to push up. Make sure he gets into arc. And trying to slow down any push coming in from Oglis. Keep in mind, though, Oglis do have streaks. It's not uncommon for players to kind of hold them on the attack. It's not as effective as it could be. But it still is definitely an ace up their sleeve. You can see now, Elevator doing a really good job of taking back map control and forcing Oglis to fight for every inch.
Just playing that awkward game again, isn't it? Mansion control, mansion control, mansion control. Just be awkward. 14 lives apiece, though. Oglis still within the shout of this one. They are going to get rid of that mansion player that was lingering around for Elevate. But they still got to break through this solid defense, and they are set up yet. Plenty of members from Elevate ready to get the gunny up. Denver should find this on the Steve-O, and does. This is looking like a round for Elevate, but it's a defensive round they absolutely needed. Good shots from Denza.
This is everything Elevate need here. Everything they need to just hold on. Because otherwise, it's all been all to the moment. However, Steve-O's going to go through. Knows a play in Tiki at the same time, and that gunfight went on forever. 1 bullet left, 18 health, and now comes the streaks. He's going to try and stop this from going anywhere. He knows the players are going to be sitting in the kitchen. He's trying to curve the player into pillars. He manages to get Hixie as well, and now they've got to move.
Look how quick it's going.
Window. This is crazy coming through, and Nasty says, hey, thanks for the lineup. 3-0 to Oglis. That was fast, furious, and Vin Diesel. Oh my goodness, Oglis.
That is as... I mean, look, we've seen 3-0s on control before, but not at this level. Rounds 1 and 2 were a clinic. Round number 3 was close and they grinded out. A fantastic player from August. They find themselves up 2-1 now in the series, and that it's as good as a performance on control rate that I have seen. If I'm honest with you, that was the defense. They did it correctly. They were trying to play that awkward. The attacking rounds, the first one was over in about 30 seconds. I mean, just a crazy game out of the Ogless side here, and just slaying, feeling themselves, and they will be feeling so good heading into map number 4.
I mean, that's the crazy thing. Elevate on defense got 6 kills. On defense. That's insanity. And obviously, you know, you'd say a lot of times in defense, right? August had it. They played it correctly. They weren't missing. Harry was doing crazy work. We saw Steve-O go on a big streak. They then got all streaks all across their team. And then they go to the attack again. And we thought maybe Elevate could hold it, right? They weren't in a bad position. Unfortunately, they broke. The defense kind of went away from them. And then out come the streak. And once that streak happened, they all had to go inside. They went in a position they didn't want to be in. There was nothing they could really do with it, Ton. And August now lead 2-1 in this series going into the hard point.
The thing is that if they don't have such a bad round number 1 Elevate, they don't give the streaks over, potentially at least anyway. And then you don't have that position. Yes, okay, they did stack it, and it would have maybe been difficult to get a hold of B once again. But the fact that you've then got to come into those streaks as well just makes your job so much more difficult. Elevate a very close map number 1 win on checkmate 250-237, and then map number 2, kind of similar fashion, very close, comes down to Gizmo making the clutch plays. Map number 3, anything but close, 3-0 to August. Now, great hard point. I honestly don't know, because the way that August played that, it wasn't just well played in control sense, it just felt like they were winning every gunfight. And if you're Elevate, that's got to be a scary prospect.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing here. I mean, the problem is the pattern's been broken. We were expecting a super close raid, right? Both teams very good at this map. We thought, hey, realistically, this could go either way, but August just hitting different form. And, you know, it's almost going to be like a nightmare replaying the same map, essentially. Different game mode, but August looking to continue their reign of terror, and they can end this right now and take it away. But Denza comes flying out straight away. Steve-O comes back into it. Steve-O gets 2, and now it's a bloodbath here. And it's August who take it, and will now be looking for laundry control.
Last 3 times these two played on hardpoint against each other, Elevate, including map number 1 of this series, have won. Can August bounce back, or do we see Elevate continue their hardpoint streak here? And there's a good start by August, as mentioned, to get the breakthrough, and look at the spawn there coming in for number 3. Steve-O towards the back. That's going to help things out. Elevate spawn the other side. They'll be aware of that as well. Kitchen spawns are important, but still, one also as important, these 23 seconds remaining on P1.
Steve-O trying to play his life a little bit. Actually ends up going for the challenge. Is going to go down. Importantly, though, August do have the spawns. They're still going to challenge it as well. Harry and Denza flying back and forth for it. Harry will come out on top. Bit of scrap time for yourself, sir. And now the kitchen rotation. It will be August again in control here. Slaying not too far out of the realms of Elevate's control, but realistically, it's still August who are doing the business.
Yeah, good start for them. It's the spawn out, isn't it? That does make the difference, but if you're August, you still need a hold from the front here. Going to spawn all the way out as well, so the other 2 remaining members going to take their time maybe to try and make this push work. Nasty dying in mid-map, though. They need the reinforcements to come on through. Steve-O finds that gunfight. Krig in hand. Oh my god, what am I seeing? I get a nosebleed with this gun. What is going on? Steve-O with the Krig, would you imagine it? 5 in a row. They break it back. Nelly finds the 6th as well. Really well played. They just play their life, play patiently. Know the rest of the team are going to come in off the respawn through mid. Final 15 is going to go over towards Elevate. That rotation kind of belongs towards Elevate as well. Bits towards the back.
This is going very well for them, actually, managing to break through in the kitchen and get those points. And while they will lose the 4 seconds of scrap time, I'm sure they're not going to worry about it too much. However, Steve had a big job to do. Already managed to get 1. Going to go for the challenge on Hixie, but Hixie is equal to it, and that allows his teammate to come through as well. Wee Man is here. Gizmo, though, going to end up challenging. Checks cars first, doesn't see anybody, and now it's going to be cars versus van, and it will be a teammate to clean it up. This is chaos every way through. Neither team able to secure any sort of consistent trades.
The spawns towards the back, though, do come through for Elevate. Oglis have fought their way here, though. Hixie will fall in transition. Now it's about the break. Nasty first one through the door, and first one to fall as well. Gizmo, well, he would have been dead anyway. Elevate holding this. Elevate with the lead. Getting a good chunk of time. Yeah, no, Oglis are going to choke that one up. See number 7, though. Keep an eye on Hixie as this transition goes over. What's he going to do? Is he going to just go head first into it, or is he going to take his time and try and just be that little bit of a nuisance? Finds one. Find 2 here. That would be a massive start to the transition over. Look at Steve-O. He spawned out towards Garage as well. Gizmo needs to find this kill. Here come the reinforcements from Elevate, but here comes Nasty from behind. Elevate trying to break on through, but it looks like Oglis have held the transition over towards P3.
Well, big hole from them here in the end. But look at that double chow come through. Eventually, Gizmo does get one. That's all you can realistically expect from him here. But Denza manages to punch through in the kitchen, and now the pressure comes on. Nasty still going to be holding out. And that actually got rebuffed very quickly. I thought Elevate might have an opportunity to do some serious work, but they've actually been so aggressive in the kitchen. Who flies out like that?
I mean, look, we know that Steve-O, he's been around for so long. We've casted over him for years. It just seems as in this roster, he's playing like he did maybe 4 years ago when he was the young kid at the moment. 15 and 11 out of him is big numbers out of Steve-O.
You see they're eventually going to lose that scrap time here as we start looking at this P5 rotation. Nasty trying to hold down Kitchen. The team will now spread out to try and break it. They know Elevate has control, and this is the same story, by the way, we saw on the first half point. Neither of these two teams letting any significant lead actually build up.
Kills from Steve-O coming through again. Oglis break through. 7-6 out of that's 8 spray for Nasty, though. That's just kind of slipped under my radar, personally.
Well, certainly well under Elevates. As Nasty has been playing very well this series as well. You can see now that they are locked into P5, but there is punching coming from every side. Nasty trying to stay alive, not going to be able to do it. 30 seconds left here, and Steve-O goes in the ring and just snaps and obliterates Hixie. Going to be trying to fight this one as well, using block to his advantage. Eventually we'll take that one as well. These players are just flying about at the moment, just bringing so much pressure for it, and actually Steve-O not able to get that kill. We'll eventually pick up 12 seconds of scrap time here as well, but that rotation to P1 is now the priority for both teams.
The SMG battle's been won by Oglis, but the AR battle is kind of over towards Elevate, you would say, in a sense. Nasty and Steve-O are Nasty and Steve-O are doing really well on the forefront, but sometimes these transitional kills not necessarily coming through for Oglis. This time it does, though. Go towards P1. Split spawns, yeah.
These teams have really upped the tempo, actually, in this hardpoint. Just look at the kill feed. It's continuously firing from both teams, can just basically wanting to go into the buzzsaw. They're so confident in their own abilities, they're just hitting trade after trade after trade. Nasty is actually going to crack this one with the cruise missile. And now actually going to try and put it through. Sees Wingman there and eventually says, hey, I have you on camera. Go full. Nasty just jumps out and takes another gunfight. He's feeling himself currently. 23 and 10. Not going to be 21 and 10. We'll go down here. But rotation to Kitchen now on the cards. The teams, again, at this point in the game, basically neck and neck.
It's an easy kill for Steve, but to find in the middle as well. He's not going to likely find that one on the bids. I mean, just something like that. Just a small thing I picked up on there. Weeman's already went past Laundry, already cleared it, and Bids is pre-aim in top window. Where's the comms from Elevate? I mean, it doesn't matter when you're shooting like that, I suppose. Where the hell has that come from, Bids?
You can see here, Bids, though, now going to be holding the front. Nasty trying to go through, but there is a pinch coming around the back as well. They're in a little bit of a pressure situation. Nasty does fly in the front, but he is alone. That's going to go down. Hixie picks up too. Steve-O has to get out of dodge, and Bids is just firing and gunning everything that comes out of him. 5 tricks for himself. Has to get out of it. Steve-O will pick it up at the same time, finds the second kill himself. And this is exactly what's been happening all game long. Neither team is able to find daylight with the other one. Trades going down. Scrap time to Elevate. Rotation to Oglis.
And this is, I mean, Oglis, they've had rotation over towards basketball in the previous rotation and Kitchen twice. And they haven't really got a lot for it. This is the first time we've seen them hold Garage, though. So let's see. They need it, to be honest with you. 20 points behind.
Funny thing is, though, I suspect Oglis will get a few points here and then end up losing the rotation again because neither of these two teams can build up a significant lead. Here we go, though. Gizmo going to come under a lot of pressure. These players running around Lambo and Jim. He knows players are coming towards him. He needs reinforcements at the same time. He fights that first player. He knows the second one's there as well. And that is going to be a big one.
Gizmo.
Still one player left alive. It is 176, 176 as Hixie goes to work.
Hixie.
Eventually taken down by Steve-O as well. And this is insanity from both teams. August, though, have the rotation. They're now going to have to pinch.
Yeah, they were 25 points down by the time they made their way over towards Garage. They're going to be about 15 down. If Elevate take all this scrap, look how high of a line there is here. Hixie must have heard him. Jungle control here for Elevate. This is a good position to be in to break through. That's a kill in kitchen as well. Oglis spawning out. Oh, that's huge from Gizmo. Now it's all of a sudden a 2v2 momentarily, and Steve-O from behind. It works out for Oglis. Big plays out of Gizmo.
Moment. Steve-O is going to go down. Pressure coming in. Nasty's actually going to just take down the back, and they're trying to bring everything in they can here to try and hold this. Gizmo knows the fight's coming through the front. They've stayed alive so far. Gizmo just needs to make the kills here to give them the advantages. Both teams now continue to flood in here. Gizmo doing God's work. As you can see, last challenge comes through, and that's the Diamatti. 4 streak for him. They've held on. They're not going to be able to win it on this one, though, Ton, but a significant amount of points as we look towards the next hill.
These last 2 hills have been huge for Oglis, and they've got the run-in for the hill. Steve-O running forward. Hixie killing his teammate. And this transition needs to be good for Elevate. That's a massive kill out of Weeman. Oglis are inside it. Gizmo has been phenomenal the past couple of hills. My word, just finding 2 pieces like that here and there. The ARs are starting to heat up, and Oglis have the lead because of it.
Wow. Now Elevate have P5. I said have P5. They've lost it already. All the jump streaming in. Biz tries to make it down a little bit as he gets 2, but it will be control now for August. They have to make the push. Elevate, stacking, ready to go into it. Nasty trying to defend here, already taking down. And you can see Hixie managed to get in, and Elevate have managed to break it here. But they cannot win it. If they need this, they need all of it. And then managing to get into P1, but August are not going to just sit still. They will go for one last big stacked break here. And here it comes. Steve already taken down 1. Steve-O taking down the second. Weeman, though, gets 2 back and replies. Weeman gets 3. It's now a 1v1. Nasty wants to take on Weeman, but he knows he shouldn't, and he eventually goes down. Weeman holds the fort for them, and they still have life. Elevate have rotated to P1.
Weeman's just put his balls on the table. Define me, I don't care. My goodness me, what was that? Elevate, lock it in. This rotation towards P1 belongs to them again. Are August going to throw away another hard point? Kill's going over towards Elevate. Gizmo's the only one to answer back. Elevate 8 away here, Bryce.
Somehow Elevate have pulled this out of the fire. Denza firing now. Nasty managed to get 1, but it has come back.
Gotta go.
Flying in. It's 3 for Elevate. It's 4 for Elevate. And somehow, in another half-point game, Elevate have brought it back from the jaws of defeat to get a victory. You have to be gutted for August. They had that locked in for so long. But they just... I don't know. I don't even know how to explain what we are seeing between these 2 teams. We are going to a map 5.
I actually don't know how Oglis haven't won the series now. That's 2, both the hard points. They're in the driving seat. The situation you would want to be in, right? You've got P4. You find the first 3 kills. I think Weeman just finds 1, 2, 3 very, very quickly. It's a shame we didn't get to see from his point of view, but there's so many gunfights going on. And then because of everything that August have put into it from one side, Elevate have the rotation for the next hill and just lock it in. Just slay it out. Big props to Weeman, though. That's absolutely huge from him. And you'll see it coming up on the kill feed in the bottom left corner.
Elevate have got ice in the veins. Ice in
They do.
the veins.
It felt like August were literally, even when they were behind, it felt like they were in the lead. You know what I mean? It just felt like everything was kind of working for August and that they would find the map. And all of a sudden, Elevate just clutch up massively when they need to.
I'm a little bit flabbergasted. That hard point, by the way, that's not how most hard points go. It's usually rotate, hold, break, except not just continue, just chaos. It was basically chaos the entire way through as teams were just hurling themselves at the hard points. I don't even know if it was... I'm actually, for one of the very first times in my career, struggling to explain what we've just watched. there was somebody decided to just hit the throttle at the start of that hard point and not let off until the very, very end. It is basically... I don't understand. It might as well just have been everybody just jumping at one point and we'll just fight it out and we'll just say whoever wins the most gunfights on that hill, that'll do. Right? Like, it was just chaos. Like, no team was able to actually get more than, 20, 30 points ahead of the other at any point.
And that's the bizarre thing, because it's raid. And how often we talk about rotations are absolutely... look, they're key on most maps. When it comes down to raid, though, you really can't rack that time up. When you get that rotation down, it's usually hard to break. Neither team seemed to know how to defend a rotation when they got it. Both teams seemed to just look insane when they were running towards each hill. I don't know. That was just, as you said, the pace was there. It was like, okay, we got control, but let's run at them anyway. And it was happening on both sides of the coin. And, well, as we said, it will be rude not to get a map number 5 out of that. And thankfully, that's what we get in at the end. We stay on raid. And Elevate they've got their number on the hard points. They really, really do. What, 18 points difference?
It's just chaos.
Well,
it's organized chaos. You don't see hardpoint played like that, where teams are just basically just smack. They might have just stood in the middle of it and just headbutted each other, and whichever one faints first loses, because that was ridiculous. Fortunately, we get to reset here now. We are going into a map 5. These two teams, obviously, will have the opportunity to win it here and there. And while we do that, let's go back over this so far, Ton. Hardpoint first. The very first hardpoint was also crazy. And then we went into a S&D that Gizmo manages to just pull out of the fire, right? Augless walk away with that one somehow. Then we go into an Augless basically domination. They just run over Elevate.
Yep.
On raid, run them over. We go into it and we think, Augless are having a pretty good start. They look pretty good coming in a raid the second time around. And then they lose. And neither team had really, I don't think either team had a clean hill the entire game. I'm trying to think. I can't think of a time where there was even a remotely clean hill.
I mean, the way that Augless kicked things off, they found fall down. They got the rotation over towards Kitchen immediately. They had it twice. And I think they maybe got about 30 points from both. So, I mean, I don't know how to explain it. I've been keeping an eye on the timeline in between this, and a lot of the players, of course, in Europe are like, all right, okay, if any of the CDL, I think it was a Defragger actually posted it, if any of the CDL teams want to watch how to play control on raid, just watch what Augless just did there. He's then tweeted out, don't ever watch what raid hardpoint we just seen from either two of these teams, because it's so bad.
For very good reason.
I mean, it was entertaining. It was hellishly entertaining, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I mean, they just couldn't hold a hill to save their lives there. It was mental, but I mean, look, I live for it. That was fine. It was a very close game, and that's what we wanted. And we head into a map number 5. We stay on raid. Oh yeah, I mean, look how the last S&D ended. Which way does it go? I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue at all. I know what's supposed to be the insight here, but...
Well, no, you're right. I'll tell you something. I'm not even going to touch it. Map 5 is magical. It's the grand finals. I'm going to leave that prediction alone. What I am going to talk about, though, is to explain in other terms just how crazy that last map was. I'll explain it in casting terms, right? This is off tangent, but we've got a little bit of time as I get into that next map. Essentially, a lot of time it's ebbing and flowing casting. You're trying to make the tempo go up and down and bring people along for the storyline, and it gets exciting when it gets exciting, and it slow down, you break the game down, you slow it down. Going back on that entire hardpoint, I don't think we did that. We started at 11 because they started at 11 and basically didn't let up. The trades that came through, like, there would be a big two-piece, like, this is great, and then all of a sudden they'd lose by another two-piece. Like, at no point did either team really have an opportunity to even catch their breath. I imagine they're all stressed here on a hot afternoon in summer in England, because I certainly am.
Yeah, we don't all have the aircon, and I mean, you can see I'm a touch shiny, in fairness, and I honestly wouldn't like to see the state of some of their chairs at this moment in time, put it that way, because it's a sweaty day. It has to be said, figuratively and also, of course, it's at this moment in time. Honestly, I just not a whitewash. I just want to see a close game, which I think we will. Look, raid, search, and destroy between these two teams. Top of my head, I can't remember the last time I played it. Last time it was in this series, but it was a map number 5 again. We didn't get there, though. It was an elevated 3-1 win. Before that, Gizmo wasn't on the roster, so I don't know. I've got nothing for you.
All right, well, Ton doesn't know, but fortunately we have a way to find out. That way to find out, of course, is to play the map. So, the grand final of Challengers Elite Stage 4. Elevate and August, 2-2, tied up. We'll go into one more map. Raid, search, and destroy this time. As we jump on board with Hixie.
Well, the timeline's calling out for a Byron Nasty clinic. Let's see if we do get that here on the search and destroy. August on the defensive side and Elevate with their typical sit back, get a bit of information kind of pick. I don't think the information they would have gathered so far, though, will indicate that there is 3 members of August inside of mid.
Well, this is certainly a change of pace, but now here comes it. Steve-O going to find 1 and finds 2 as well. It kills him P5, and Denzer actually says, I'll have a little bit. Steve-O says, come on then. However, Bids managed to take down Harry. There's a big fight going on as well. And it will now be a 1 versus 3. Denzer left alone here. Can he try and make something out of it? They've seen him. They know where he is. Steve-O sitting ready for him and doesn't have to take this challenge. Can wait for backup. And Denzer's going to find 3 people here giving him the cold shoulder.
Oh, well, find 1. Okay, well, there you go. August will get it done. I don't know who's put a penny in Steve-O today, but he's finding so many big kills.
Well, see if he can keep it up because they're going to need it. Currently 1-0 to August then, and I will say, like I said, a bit of a change of pace. It's not as much chaos, but Steve-O doing big work there. This time though, they will be on the attack here, and it's looking like an A hit. Going straight forward. It will be Elevate actually to take mid-map control. It does mean that realistically August's options are to try and push through and get laundry control. That's exactly what they're going for. Whether or not they plant here is all about their confidence and whether or not they can look over and make sure that Nasty doesn't go down. They're doing exactly that, though. Look at this control. It's going to be a back hit. Elevator about to hit this with numbers already flying through. It's going to be Gizmo and Steve to get through. Wingman gets 2 more as well, but Nasty is here, and it's now a 1 versus 2. Bids will go down. Nothing happens, and everything happens. 2-0 to Wargless.
Oh, God. It's like, that is actually the time where we do get to breathe. Elevate, wrap round and go. Right, 4-man hit laundry. Here we go. Nasty. Here's the call out. There's 4. There's 4. Finds the first shot, and then Bids is kind of a sitting duck in that scenario. 2-0 to Ogless now. Good start to the search and destroy for them. I believe there was a 4-2 lead for them at one point on Moscow when we had to find out who wins it in a 1v1 in round number 6. Round number 11, sorry. But I don't know. My head's gone already.
Well, look at this, though. August already off the break, going towards Ring, and so are Elevate.
Oh, God.
This is going to be a big hit again. Steve, though, is going to find 3. Which one does he shoot? Eventually, he only gets 1, but his teammates pick up 2 as well. And now Gizmo is getting his feet shot off as Denzer tries to stay alive here as the pressure comes towards him. Shut down with a gun to the face. And August go 3-0. We speedrun in the search and destroy.
How are they able to push that so freely? Steve-O gets to look at what they smelled them before they even get a chance to turn around and do anything about it.
Is that communication? Did somebody just not watch the van push? Like, I feel like that could have gone disastrous. Like, obviously, Steve-O just had too many targets. Like, you can see him like, oh, goodness, which one do I shoot? But that position where all 3 of them are looking towards pillars with no cover. I suppose, at this stage of it, August in the driving seat. And they've decided to take this bus to B.
With the mid-map control as well, so expect the wrap to potentially come in here. That's a little bit of info there as well. Is that bomb going down? No, it isn't. Not quite. Oh, Nasty finds the first kill into Hixie as well. Oh, that's a good shot from Denzer, though.
Actually, a huge pace from Denzer. August have no idea what to do now, by the way. They thought they had a bit of control. Hasn't worked out for them. I mean,
They get the bomb planter, and they've all wrapped A. I mean, August are not going to expect it. I'm so confused.
I do wonder if it was worth giving Nasty that, actually. Let him get the plan, let him get the points. But doesn't matter. And now here comes the push here. Denza coming through. Does find Harry as well. 2 versus 3, but Bomb is down.
That's planted with Mansion as well. Nasty on a 5 spree as well. I think if you're August here, you just try and keep him alive as well. Yes, you'd obviously rather win the round, but... Here comes the push, though. Gizmo has to stay alive up top. Nasty looking for 1 kill. Gizmo finds another. This is going to be 4-0 to August. I'm kind of disappointed, but I mean, this could still change, but... Elevate it just feels like they're playing into their hands. I don't know. Does Denza communicate that the fact that that player was planting? Was he maybe just think he was lying behind the bomb? Because that bomb is down. They kind of have a bit of mid control, and then they all wrap A through launch.
So here's what
I don't know if it was like too big brain. I'm not like.
I think what's happened is realistically Elevate, they've only had the information about Denza taking the bomb down. They don't know the distribution of the rest of them. They may have thought that August decided to grab it and get out of there and rotate back to A. There's a potential option that could have happened simply because Elevate didn't have the information about the rest of August in that scenario. But that was last round. This round, a big fight around Laundry again. Nasty sitting pretty.
Big kill
a few shots.
He's so close to streaks pricing.
Look at him just dip, dodge, and dive. But unfortunately, his teammates are dying frequently here, and he finds Weeman somehow.
I mean, they're surely going to lose this round, but I mean, he gets a hold of the artillery, so that's big for August.
Oh, that's it. That's it. Yeah. That's basically the round there. No way out of that scenario. If you got the first one, maybe you could think about trying to move around or do something, but not going to work out for them. And Elevate get a desperately needed point back on the board.
Very much so. But at the sacrifice of Nasty getting a hold of at least his artillery. Don't think he got his missile. No, he didn't. So artillery available. So that's information. That's, well, explosives as well. August 4-1 up is on top of that. Still very much in the driving seat here, but I mean, it's felt like they've been in the driving seat a couple of times in this series, and yet here we are at map number 5.
This time around, Gizmo just taking a little eye here, and will be communicating every part of that to his teammates. Nasty, though.
That's down.
Going for it down, and that's actually a long retake here for them.
If he gets out, he's got streaks, and he has.
Well,
Elevate will do very well to win this round.
They really will. Here comes the pushes, though. Elevate need to just make a huge push now. Here they come. They're going to go for this pressure as well. Already, Gizmo's taking down Denza. Hixie going to try and fight him up top. He sees Gizmo does manage to get that first kill as well, though. Harry and Weeman, it's all kicking off as Hixie manages to get 2. 14 seconds left to go as he's going to find the third as well. Hixie doing an outrageous job, but Steve will now check the bomb at 7.5. Finds one, goes around the corner, finds a second, and August go 5-1 up, but not due to Hixie's fault, who managed to find 3 of them. It was only the 4th that eluded him.
I mean, he's playing parkour in the mansion here. Finds Gizmo, jumps down the stairs, goes around the outside, and just outbrains them. Harry hasn't got a clue what day it is by the time Hixie comes around there. But the time's on their side. The problem was there is that, okay, the 4v4 retake at B's hard anyway, but Elevate was so far away from the bomb when it goes down. I don't know. Like, look, these Elevate players know better than me. They absolutely do. But there's just so many times in the Search and Destroy. I'm just kind of like, just why are they doing certain things? I don't know. Maybe it's just unlucky. Maybe it's the 50-50 call not working in their favor. But here we go.
Elevate need 5 rounds in a row. Hixie just managed to get away with it just about. Sivo throws a nade down long. You are right, that could be coming in, that streak here to break this. At the moment, nothing.
Got them kind of pinched in here, Bryce.
And here comes the squeeze. August will be trying to hit this retake here. Steve-O getting 1. Fight going on the back here, but Denza has managed to make a hole. Bin's also getting it. And now Gizmo has to push in. Somehow Gizmo got that kill. I don't understand how he managed to do it. Gizmo finds them, but not enough. Elevate win the trade in Laundry to stay alive.
There's a couple of opportunities there for August. I'm surprised. I think Nasty is kind of keeping hold of. He wants the perfect moment to use that artillery. Didn't feel it was maybe necessary there. Just about Denza gets a hold of the kill. And that is a round win number 2 for Elevate. 5-2. Still very much with their backs against the wall here. Gizmo and Stevo and Nasty all having a right old laugh. Harry sitting at 1 and 5. Like, okay, this is fine.
Well, now it's time for August. Still has an artillery in the pocket.
There's a grenade.
Here we go, Stevo going in. Pixie finds 1. Pixie finds 2. Easy when you get that mantle. And that's what Elevate were needed, right? A little bit of an advantage on this round. Nasty will not be calling in that artillery. That will be saved. Look at that. There's 3 players there. I wonder if they reach-out him. Nasty knows they have no control. Only Harry to keep an eye.
Get the bomb and get out. You've got the streak.
There's no way he uses it.
I wouldn't think... No, I mean, if they find maybe a kill or 2, then yeah. But, oh god, Harry should be dead to rights here. Really gets out.
Oh, it's a 1-to-1. Nasty sees Denza. Somehow manages to get the wall back. Somehow gets out. There's no way he's going to hide, surely. It's coming straight back out.
This is a 1v4.
Oh, he's been shot in the back. And there we go. Elevate get the round. I was going to say, I didn't think he could get it.
I think in that scenario, you're like, you're going with a hero play in your head. And you're saying to yourself, right, corner, streak, in, delay, try and do something from there. But right move, probably not using it.
Yeah. It's just too valuable to waste, right? Like, you throw. He could have got caught. He could have had somebody chasing him. Like, he didn't really know how much breathing room he had to actually call it in. So, unfortunately, there is no like locked closet he could put himself in to call it in. So, a little bit of problem. However, big hit comes through the middle here, but it will be Elevate again. They come out, they get the first blood, they have the numerical advantage. Nasty and Stevo have gone down. It's Harry and Gizmo now. And I'll tell you something,
That's
if you're Augless...
down in the middle, though.
If you're Augless, the biggest issue is now is that you were 5-1 up, and if Elevate play this out correctly and trade it, they should win this one. And then you start getting really nervous.
Yeah, and then you do. Gizmo's going to put that out. I don't think he flashed him. Oh, sorry. I think it was, Denza putting the flash out. Gizmo from behind is kind of the ace in the hole here for Augless. There's one free kill. Oh, looks like the second as well. Shot in, going to come in from... Oh my god, how is this a 1v1?
Well, I said they need to make the trades correctly, and it will be now on Denza all alone. Going to go towards B as Harry rotates back towards A. One goes down.
This is SMG.
Oh, he's planning it for Tiki as well. Although, realistically, he could go either way here. He's going to go back towards Mansion. No, he's going to go for stairs. This is the problem, right?
Play the gunfight with what you have.
Yeah. Harry versus... Harry wins it! And that's all they need to do. Now the defuse comes in and Augless will take the Search and Destroy 6-3 and the Series 3-2 and become Stage 4 Call of Duty Challengers Elite champions. Unbelievable.
What a crazy, crazy game of Search and Destroy. And no more crazy than this round. It just felt like nobody knew where anybody was at any point in that round at all. And what a series out of these two. And there you go. Once again, Augless do it. Second time they're champs.
Yeah. Ellen, that was an interesting game.
Yeah, it was. I was hoping that you would potentially maybe give me some stuff, a little teasing from the predictions, but I was gonna say I said Augless anyway. What do you mean? What do you mean, Bryce? Augless was gonna win it. Yeah, that was a crazy game, and I can't wrap my head around that hardpoint still. That hardpoint was insane from them.
Which one?
The raid. I mean, both of them essentially, but I'm talking about the raid, the most recent one, the raid especially. But for me, it was Gizmo, Search and Destroy. round 11. That was insane. Throughout that hard point on the raid, even just the whole series from both teams, it was absolutely crazy. And that was such, I mean, we expected that. We expected that from both of these teams. But I really feel like Orgless, though, I feel like they I don't know if it should have went to a map 5 because I feel like that hard point, the first one even, maybe they should have took. But I mean, even the second, it was interesting. But nonetheless, I'm congratulations to Orgless and 2-time champ. I mean, we see why.
Yeah, we certainly do. Just a big win from them, and I'm certain they're happy to be back on top. But before we talk more about the final, let's find out how this entire thing went down from our bracket today. Of course, Elevate took down Amelia Strays 3-0 to kick things off, and August did the same thing to Mavericks. Both teams moving into this final undefeated and not dropping a map. When it came down to it, though, August managed to just win it out in some of the closest Call of Duty games we have seen in Challengers Elite. But your Stage 4 champions are going to be August. Ton, what was a big highlight for you?
I mean, there was so many parts of that grand final. I think you have to give big props to Gizmo in that final round, just playing his life. The whole season's been wacky once again. I feel as if we are kind of developing those top 2 teams, though. I actually don't see Elevate and August kind of being broken as those top two teams in Europe now. Questionable players in the final, yeah, sure, but like all things aside, they just match each other so well, and it's kind of given me vibes of that whole War SNG kind of rivalry that we had towards the whole of last season in Modern Warfare. We're getting that towards the tail end of things here in Cold War, and it's going to be quite the crescendo, I think, Brycey, quite the crescendo.
Well, it has certainly been an entertaining journey, but the European side of Stage 4 is, of course, coming to a close. 8 great teams entered, but August will walk away the winners, and we will find out which 4 teams join these 4 we have remaining in Stage 5 of the next qualifier. Make sure to check that out when you go through. But that's not all. August win this one, but North America is coming up next. They have 4 more teams ready to go to war, and it's got to be every bit as exciting. Don't go anywhere. We will see you right after this break.